Whenever you're ready.
Ready? Okay. Let's call the meeting to order. About 5 o'clock. We will again, I'll start by welcoming everybody. First item is public comments. Anybody got anything to talk about that's not already on the agenda? And I see Dennis Newman's name there. So Dennis, you got anything you want to talk to us about? Excuse me? Would you like to talk to us about something? Go ahead.
Yeah. I've been concerned with what's going on the property across from mine. And they've been putting trash on there and stuff, and the zoning administrator tells me he finds nothing in the bylaws that seems like a violation there. And I found several things, but two for starters, paragraph 804.3 says, you can't have an unregistered vehicle remain on your lot for more than 90 days. He's had a big dump truck type thing up there for 3 years now, maybe.
Yeah.
The other one is paragraph 915. In any zoning district, the dumping of refuse and waste material is prohibited.
You've got some,
Set by special permit, state permit.
you've got some, cooking oil there. That's what that was.
Oh, you got coolers, big plastic jugs. He had a bunch of toys up there several years ago. They covered with a tarp, and they finally kind of rotted away into the ground.
What's
That's from the onion blossom.
His trailers up there too, his booming onion trailers up there,
Yeah.
and cooking oil, he
Yeah.
did dump some stuff.
Yeah.
Where he had a bonfire there one time, looks like.
So that's Tommy then.
Tom,
Yes,
yeah,
Tom.
Tom, that's Tom put that stuff in.
Yeah. We get you leaving that.
No, that's all that cooking oil from his booming onion trailer. I was
Right,
there yesterday,
right.
took the pictures too.
I think we could get rid of that. There people that pick that up, I think.
They burn it.
Put that, we had some came in cooking oil, I put it in with the oil.
No, they still burn.
Yeah.
The big pile of trash up there that's just been since last week, Friday,
Yeah,
that they cleared out. They got those food wagons right there.
yeah, you got a food wagon there, yeah.
In there, and they cleared all that stuff out of there and just dumped it there. And I keep hoping it'll get better, but it hasn't.
Well, thanks for bringing it to our attention. Well, let's see if we can follow up with that, get that resolved.
Yeah, we can do that.
That's all I can tell you. I didn't want But
That roller bear, is that a class 4? Where he is right there by your place, is that class 4 where he stopped?
I'm not sure where the.
So that'd be a 50-foot right away, so he's right on the borderline.
Yeah, it's right at the edge. That's where the turnaround. The
Right
town
on.
line is right there.
But we have to measure it, he's close to the road limit.
Yeah, okay. So we'll have to follow up with that.
Okay,
So thanks for, like I said, thanks for bringing it to our attention and we'll see what we can do to get that rectified.
all right. So I got some.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dennis. Okay, any other public comments from anyone about anything that's not already on the agenda? Hearing any, so let's move to number 3, additions or deletions to the agenda.
There are additions written on your agenda. That came up since it was made last week. I just thought it'd be easier to write them all in.
Yeah, so, all right, so we'll deal with them under other business. Yep, that. Now, I don't know where it would be good to bring this up or if you even have it down in here anywhere. I just read in the paper today about the grant that's pretty much the cut stuff that's been canceled. $5.7 million or some number major, that's gonna affect this project around here. I don't know. Yeah, no need to talk about it a whole lot, but just to be aware that that's happening. So it doesn't mean, I don't think that means all the funding's been canceled, but that particular one.
Something I read made me think it was the funding that was for all the peripheral areas that were not on the main routes.
Yeah.
Like all the private roads and things where they have to provide some kind of access to people. So it was
So-
the last phase, I think, in what they were doing, if I read it right.
Yeah, so not only Vermont, but all the states that are in that situation for some reason. So I just mentioned it. Okay, let's go to number 4. Approval of the minutes. We can do them one at a time or all 4 together. It's up to you guys. The 4/21 select board meeting, 4/25 select board meeting with agency of transportation. 4/25 select board meeting, for proposed wastewater project kickoff meeting, and then 4/29 special select board meeting. So we've had all those minutes.
That's very accurate too, like, make a motion that we approve all 4 minutes for the select board meeting, the P meeting, the wastewater project kickoff, and our special select board meeting that we had.
No, fucking that.
And we have a motion and a second, any discussion. Okay, if not, all in favor, please say aye.
Right,
Aye. Accept. A library report. Jen here, Jen's not here.
No, Jen's not here, so.
Yeah, so we'll just go over that for now, if he comes, we'll go back to it. Number 6, discuss legal trail agreement. Policy permit, email announcements.
Does anybody need a copy of the latest draft? I put a copy around, but do you need one, Roman?
I have mine
Yeah.
emailed, yeah. Got it.
Do you want a copy?
Here, I have.
1 minute.
Crazy got 40.
4. So, this copy, reflects the changes, the discussion that we had at that special meeting. Don't think we need to go line by line, but we can, if anybody thinks we ought to. Anybody have any comments about this latest draft and any questions about it? Or- Yes, okay.
I would like it to be okay to, I edited for clarity and consistency. Ellen, the technical part, and I think that's all there, but there's a number of places that it's mostly what we would call cleaning up, but to make sure that the spelling is consistent throughout and that language is for someone who doesn't know what it is. You know, I just tried to read it like, all right, I'm applying for a permit, and any place I stumbled, it was like, okay, this, we gotta rewrite this.
Yeah,
So-
no, are you talking about the policy or the?
We both
Both,
had
okay.
a few things, yeah. But there's nothing substantive in any of these edits.
Okay, would you mind just maybe pointing out the ones that you did? That you had to do some,
Okay, well, this,
just so that.
so for example, the term legal trails is capitalized some places, it's not capitalized other places.
Okay,
The numbering of some things, there's a list of things. On page 4 and 5, and some of them, the things that are capitalized, the rest of them are not capitalized. So it's just stuff, otherwise someone's reading it and they're going, well, is this supposed to be indented, because it's not, so anyway, but, you know, since we're talking about class 4 highways or legal trails throughout, and that's what the paper's about, that is capitalized everywhere. C for class, H for highway, L for legal, T for trails. Otherwise, it's like, well, is this legal trails different than other legal trails? And it's just really easy for people
Sure.
to get confused and, it's just stuff like that, the length of sentences, you know, people. You don't let any sentence be more than a certain number of words in certain parts of the world or in certain projects. So I think more shorter sentences in a few places might be more, if those are,
did you get any notes about that?
that's what all of my notes are about. Just making for clarity, nothing that changes the meaning of anything, and I'll go through it. With you.
And is that, you said both the policy and the.
Yeah, there were a
And
few
the
things,
permit
there were a few things, and if you all, you know, if there was some place where you stumbled or had to rewrite, you know, you had to read it twice, because wait a minute, what does this mean? That's a really good thing to flag, and that means we need to make that simpler, or in 2 sentences or whatever, because we want this so that it's
Understand.
understandable. And to that, I don't know if it's possible to just have like a cheat sheet. First, number 1, do permit, number 2, do this, and just have this a very abbreviated version of all of this. Read this, do this. Think.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, because, you know, for instance, if you're applying for a grant, if you're doing something new, there is something like that, that says this is what you gotta do first, then do this. then
That's
do this.
right, and I think it would be really helpful.
That list wouldn't have to be very long.
No, but then it just lets
More
someone
like
know,
directions.
okay, I found this part.
Yeah.
Because the phone rang and they went back and where was I? Anyway,
This document will be mailed to everybody that lives on, that has land on a class 4 road and a legal trail
They,
policy.
would it be
You mail it to
mailed to them?
everybody,
I don't know.
notification, and like,
Requires to
Johnson.
notify people according to the
It's a
LCC.
nice idea.
That's up to you guys if you want
I
to,
mean, if they do work and they don't know it,
right?
and then we have to chase,
It's new.
Anybody who's on a
Yeah.
class 4 road or on a legal trail,
Yeah, anybody,
they should know it.
the list would not be that long.
no,
I don't think, I mean, it's information we've got, right, we already know. Who these people are and what their address is, so,
and but landowners,
yeah.
all you need
I
really.
mean, we had that, a little bit of that conversation on.
Right,
the
or
meeting,
it could just be, Ladonna, instead of sending everything, just like a notice.
A note to say. look at the
Card
website.
or just something really simple. This is to let you know that we changed.
We have a policy.
We
now.
now have a policy. I think that might, maybe,
It would be enough.
because most people are not gonna go on to all these pages,
Right.
but it'll. And then maybe have something in here, something wherever we post notices. Sorry, that was long.
Ellen?
So I think it's important to differentiate between policy and an ordinance. Like usually when we, you know, change legislation, we'll call it, at the local level, we do notify everybody that's gonna be immediately impacted. And when it's approved as an ordinance, several of the violations, the enforcement remedies might only be available if it's an ordinance, not if it's a policy. So there is a substantial difference between the two in how the select board wants to sort of approve it to move it forward.
I think it was A and B.
Right, it just didn't copy color. Right, right, say that.
One.
Eight A and B would have to be an ordinance.
I think D as well.
So maybe those we. Oh, yeah. So you're suggesting like a parenthetical? Nothing on the.
That
That it
these
instead
could be still stated in here, but if we had the town attorney vet this again, they might say those remedies for a violation aren't available if it's just a policy.
So you're saying then, or suggesting that maybe we call this an ordinance instead of a policy?
Pass it as an ordinance, if you want to have.
I wonder if there's any difference in the way that. You know, I'm just talking and thinking here, I'm not criticizing at all. I wonder if there's any difference in the way that these get implemented, if it's called a policy or an ordinance, as far as the, you know, the warning or the.
Yeah,
There is, yeah.
So-
big difference.
So what is the difference, just so we,
You have to have 2 public hearings. For it to be an ordinance, and it has to be advertised in the newspaper. And
but then if it's an ordinance, we have more. Ability to find somebody if they're really making a mess. In you know, in layman's terms. And if it's a policy that's a little bit more ambiguous. I think it might be worth going through the,
Yeah,
you know,
And
nobody comes to those things anyways, I mean, somebody might come, but
right,
those who come might already have read this and either they're in favor or not.
and I think to Dennis's point of providing notice to people, that it is a really good practice to do that, and it's sort of built in the way that an ordinance is approved, that you provide notice.
So.
we'd have to share this with all legal trails, whoever's got the button,
That's right,
the button.
I know quite a few legal trails are maintained regularly.
by the
By the
landowners.
landowner around them.
Yeah, it's been like.
Water bars and a lot of stone and lots of to keep them up so they can travel back and forth.
So, I'm trying to think here, there's gonna be some, I mean, there's no real changes in intent or in the meaning. But to do this, we probably should have a final copy with those changes made before we approve it.
we could,
Or we could approve it with the changes that are not so much changes, but the housekeeping things that you just talked about.
Yep.
It doesn't change the intent of the policy, we might save some time if you.
Rosemary, had a question too.
I just had some clarification, reading this. So on the application, it says, abutting landowners will be notified in writing. And then abutters will have a 15-day period of appeal after the select board makes a decision. So does that mean when someone fills this out, we get notification as abutting landowners, or only after a select board meeting of approval or something? And that wasn't clear to me. Like, when do we get
Yeah,
notification?
I think you should get notification, you and everybody should get notification when the application goes out.
Okay,
That
so,
way there's an opportunity to have a conversation before.
okay, so that's not clear
That's not
here
clear
to
enough.
me.
Yeah, we'll have to figure it out.
Okay, that's another little,
And then, is it typical to have just 15-day period of appeal? Because it's listed on a couple of places in here, 15 days, 15 days.
Yes.
For zoning permits and things like that.
Yeah.
it's 15 days. Okay. Someone were gone, that would be tight. And also for, now I'm on page 1 of the policy. So would every application automatically be reviewed by the DRB, or does the select board decide whether it needs to be reviewed by the DRB? In other words, what's that trigger between the two if there are some sensitive cases that need to be looked at?
Okay,
Well,
Got-
the
got it,
special
fine.
flood hazard area
yeah,
specifically. I just think it's Ellen.
I mean, that's the only one that's called out here, but there might be other things that aren't related to the access, but to the roadway. If there's any development that's happening on the parcel that the access is going to, then it's likely that there's going to be for that portion of it. But anything that has to do with the governance of the trail is up to the select board. And it's like their jurisdiction to maintain that responsible for that. I'm just thinking back to last year, I was just starting to call everybody. So what would that flow chart be like in the scenario where we have this policy?
Well, last year they applied for the change of use permit, that's what triggered everything, before we moved out it.
Well, I was already going, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, well, we already
So-
have, yeah,
You know, yeah, I just curious.
well, they have to do the permits first and you change use permits, if you don't have a change use permit, then it would come to us.
Right,
yeah, and if there's any development going on, let's say somebody wants to build a house. The development-
Change of use.
That change,
Yeah, so you would already know that, I mean, the development review, or the zoning administrator would be involved in it.
Okay.
I'm confused about your question a little bit. Are you talking about after the application is submitted and work is being done and you're concerned about it?
Well, I'm just, at what point is a trigger to review by the DRB? When is that? Like when they come to you with the application? Or is it the
If-
select
if
board
it's a
look at it
change,
and then
if-
ask them, or?
The select board would have jurisdiction
Yeah.
first.
Yeah,
I think there's probably a judgment call at some point, and personally, I'd rather err on the side of caution. If there was any question of whether or not the DIV should be involved, it's better to bring it up as a,
Right.
I think Will would have input on this too, because
yeah,
he's gonna know if this is happening. Because there's gonna be some kind of development, and so I would think that Will and I communicated pretty well. And he would let me know that there could be some concerns here,
Right.
and that would be passed on to the select board. Maybe before even their meeting.
I think there might be an assumption that no one's gonna be upgrading the road if they don't have a change of use in mind.
Yeah,
You know, oh,
Well,
it's
I'm just,
gonna-
you know-
And so that's why that's the trigger,
Yeah.
is a change of use.
yeah.
And then that triggers a change of use and a review before it ever
Mhm.
gets to this.
I guess my other question was, where was it? Cutting trees. There's- Abutting landowners will receive a notification when waiting. Okay, that's under the application.
if you're ready.
So is that's part of the application then? Before it gets going, is that correct? I'm on the second back of the page of the application, page 2. Towards the bottom. Owner applicant shall obtain written consent of the adjoining landowners regarding the cutting of or injury to trees on property lines.
I'm assuming that the same,
That doesn't include the 50-foot right of way, like they don't need to tell us if it's considered a 50-foot
Yeah, it's
right of way,
beyond
but
that.
it's beyond
Yeah,
that.
beyond that.
beyond that, that's, yeah. Definitely, it's the same thing as with class 3, class 2 roads, if we go out. We're doing some construction, And if we go out beyond the 25 foot from the center, the 50 foot right of way in total. We have to get an easement from the
Okay,
landowners,
yeah,
so.
I just wanted to be clear,
Mhm.
and. If it, I'm on the, let's see, page 4 at the bottom for changes in classification. Is under the select board, does that go through a typical warning as well? Like for comment, if the trail for class 4 was reclassified, does that
So
go
that
through the
would be-
same
Yeah,
That would, we'd have to,
process?
that'd be, we'd have to follow the state guidelines,
if they,
it's quite unlikely.
I understand, but I'm just wondering what the
It's good to
process
answer the
was.
question, the orange book spells that out, procedure very.
Yeah,
clearly.
there's a similar procedure with warnings and hearings and documents submitted to the state.
Hmm.
yeah, it's not easy to change those roads either.
No,
Eric Polk, being
Either-
here, would have told that.
either up or down, you know, as far as changing the fact.
The last question I had was about the utilities. In here. Yeah.
I didn't get the application, did you,
Is it-
get on that one or get on
The bottom of page 2 of the terms and conditions, that one, in general, all utilities shall be located.
Yeah.
I read that
So,
one.
That's
okay,
the bottom of page 2 of the application.
yeah, so in our case, that would mean getting approval from Vermont Land Trust, and they don't want anything like that going through the easement protected property, so I was just wondering if that would work. In the future,
Well, Vermont Land Trust doesn't own the road,
no, it doesn't,
so if it's.
but it would, it
if
has
it's-
the easement,
But not the road, they're not in the road right away.
right,
So-
but on their land beyond the
Correct,
road.
correct, so if the utilities are within the road right of way. It should be okay.
So beyond 50 feet, no, within
Right.
50 feet, yeah.
Exactly.
we did one a while back on
Right up the road.
then, Butner. Where they went up to the road with the utility, with underground,
Yeah.
probably what, 5, 6 years, 10 years ago, maybe?
Quite a while.
You weren't there at the road in the middle,
That's not the-
put all the
Yeah.
piping and no, put all the electrical.
They were very clear that they were not like that.
Yeah.
When
Right,
I spoke to
yeah,
them,
and then,
so.
you know, that makes sense, even someone who's has not sold a development rights may not want it either. Just as a matter of course, you know, so if it's within the road right of way. That's what it needs to be.
They won't even install it without easements anyways, the utilities. Underground or above ground. So that's. But then those get recorded in the land records, but
Well, thank you for everybody's hard work. That's all my questions, and we were both really good to see, a strong number 8. We did, I appreciate that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank all of you,
Take
as
care.
well. You know, I mean, this has been a team. project.
Teamwork.
They're not learning curves for everybody.
Yeah.
So,
I'd like to propose that we make Pat's changes. And then resubmit to the group. And then give a deadline for comments. If we don't hear back within that deadline, then we submit it to the lawyer for approval.
or
And
if-
comments, yet from review.
so then procedurally, will we only approve this after the attorney, or if the attorney says it's all good, and are you suggesting that we approve it with those changes, or after we have the clean copy,
I think
by
after.
email respond? But
Well,
that has
Your
to be-
approval would only trigger the process to begin for an ordinance if that's what you're deciding to do.
But we would probably,
And an ordinance is gonna take 2 or 3 months.
And we won't approve it until it's over, till that time frame
Right.
is over, is that correct? Or
You
we approve it and then,
You can approve correct me if I'm wrong, you can approve the copy per se, but you're not approving the ordinance until after,
enforced
until the
until-
second hearing. Usually we do the first hearing at a select board meeting, the second hearing at a select board meeting, after that public hearing, the select board meeting, then you approve it. And then we have so many days until it's actually.
Down.
How many days is that?
yeah, we wanna do it right, because
45.
somebody will find a little hitch somewhere and it, it's all over. And, okay, so let's do that, you'll send us a clean copy, once they are, then we can respond. Yay or nay, that we're good with it, if there's no questions, then we can forward it to the town attorney. And begin the process. That sound good to everybody? Yes, Pat.
One more question under the terms and conditions. I did have
On the policy.
on the
order.
permit, right, this thing here. Maybe numbers or letters. But it might be more efficient. But the owner applicant will pay the entire cost of the salary or the compensation of an inspector appointed by the road commissioner to supervise the work. Upon completion of the work by the owner applicant, the final inspection will be held. Final inspection by the road commissioner or by the select.
So that's, let me be sure I'm understanding what you're asking here.
It said will be held, but it doesn't say by who, so that the
Yes.
person, the applicant understands who they have to.
So it would be by the select board, but I just want to read that thought again. It's about 2/3 of the way down the page.
Pick one up from the bottom.
Yeah, we'll want numbers on that.
Yeah.
So the owner applicant will pay the entire cost of the salary or compensation of any inspector appointed by the,
Road commissioner.
of any appointed by the
Well,
road
that
commissioner
any.
may not appoint one. Right, so maybe that wording is a little bit. Could probably be a little bit
It's
clearer.
an inspector. And that was, I wanted to get to make it.
Of an
opposite
inspector.
of an inspector,
And
if appointed by. the road
If appointed
commissioner.
by the road commissioner, yeah, so the road commissioner could be the supervisor. You know, if somebody's doing the work that knows what they're doing. They don't have to have a supervisor, it just adds cost. You know, the supervisor could go back, the road commissioner or the select board could go back and look at it.
But it's just so that the applicant understands who would have to come and do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do they come and bug you guys? Do they? Is it the road commissioner? And there's as a public service that it would be clear about that.
yeah, that one there might be a little,
Yeah. If appointed by, I don't know. We wanna make it clear that
the road
it
commissioner
may be
is us,
appointed,
because
but-
we hire Eric.
yeah. But I think
And it
it
should say select board.
But am I right? We always hired Eric as the road commissioner.
Both, but then.
But this is, see, now I read this as two different things. That there was an inspector that might be appointed by the road commissioner, that's not an absolute, correct? That
yeah,
would just
right,
be-
maybe,
could-
or it could.
And
be.
that upon, maybe that next sentence should be a different bullet. Upon completion of the work, the owner applicant, a final application by. There will be a final application by, and whoever it is.
Yeah.
So that they know what the,
Yeah, so
chain
that
of
could be,
things.
the road commissioner and the select board.
it could be either or, that's
Yeah.
fine, but I think
Yeah,
it's
let's
two
just spell it out.
separate.
But down below it says the road
Thanks.
commissioner and select board may not, don't.
Yeah.
Revoke the permit together,
So
I mean.
so let's move that upon completion to another bullet.
Okay, good, even better.
Will be held by the select board. you might say.
By the select board
And-
or road commissioner,
Yeah.
okay, all right. Very good. No, okay. Great.
Yeah, down below we get that select board and slash road commissioner.
Mhm. Anything else from anybody?
I think most of these are just. Oh, this is one for you, sort of, got that. Is this the ownership of the facility, is the road considered a facility, or is it? Of the improvements or adjustment of applications required when the party will be involved with construction maintenance and ownership of the improvements. Not ownership of the facility, it's not, is the road considered a facility in zoning.
Where are you at? Just where you can tell.
Maybe the odd use of the word.
Where are you?
It's on this page.
Down,
where-
page 3, So I think that that's when. You know, so I own the property way up there. And I go to DRB and I get a change of use. But I'm gonna build a house up there. And now I'm gonna improve the road, so I can put the select board and an agreement. But I'm not gonna do the work. Somebody else is gonna do the work. So the contractor. This is what we talked about. Well, the contractor is the co-applicant. And then the person who owns that other property, they're not really the owner of the improvements or facility or anything, the town and the other owners of the property are still owners of the road, so yeah, it is. It's like a misnomer, it's wrong. Vocabulary, maybe we should look closely at that, maybe have Will also think about. What
the
kind of
word-
language. should
Yeah,
be-
because that was like facility,
Right,
it
Yeah.
was just, you know.
yeah, it doesn't make
Okay.
sense.
Well,
So
just
we'll
call it what it is, call it the road.
Well,
Yeah, maybe
yeah,
the
road, yeah.
facilitator of the improvements on the road, and then the contractor who does the work on the road, you know, like more plain language, like. That, because there's gonna be an applicant, and there's gonna be a person who does the work, and sometimes they'll be the same person.
So
But
then,
often not.
so the one party. Is. Should there be a parenthetical after one party for? A butter. Yeah, it's just. I have no idea what that means. The whole thing.
I mean, we could just make it much more plain language, when an applicant. For improvements, will employ a contractor to do the work. A joint permit with both as co-op is
Okay.
required,
Okay,
something like, you know what I mean?
okay. Did you get that? Just, sorry, we're taking out the whole thing.
Here you go. If an applicant. Will employ a contractor to make road improvements. Then both will be listed as co-applicants. Here.
Way better.
It works, I could see that going south, it's 3 foot though. Say that, I'm the contractor and they hiring me to do some work and,
Yeah,
they're not
that's.
paying me and I said, okay, I'm
Right,
done, I'm out of here.
yeah, and they're still obligated in 5 years when it's undone, yeah.
Yeah, I think that could be. That could be, could be a problem.
It's sort of implied on the very first part of the application.
That the contractor is a co-applicant.
It doesn't say co-applicant, it just says contractor's name and address.
Right, but you know, the example I just said.
Right, but they shouldn't be held legally.
So, right, so maybe
Responsible.
co-applicant is the wrong word, maybe it's something like, I don't know, I think the whole point is to have some kind of implied obligation that the contractor will complete the work as laid out by the selectboard to complete. You know what I mean, that they're as responsible as the applicant. unless,
But are they?
unless there's a breakdown between the
Yeah,
applicant.
the ultimate responsible person is the
Is
applicant.
the applicant, right, the person who.
There could have more than one contractor in the process.
They could,
Uh,
they could.
so, yeah,
So maybe we should strike that line altogether.
I know if I was a contractor, I wouldn't sign
Get rid
it.
of it altogether.
Yeah.
I'd be signing a contract with the owner,
yeah.
between the owner and that.
Just an
If
onus
I was a contractor.
I mean, you could want the name of the contractor on
Yeah.
the document, but they haven't, right,
just
we
to
have no
facilitate
legal.
communication.
That's really what we want to know is who
Was good.
ultimately did the work.
Mhm.
So
Here's this contractor signature too. On this, you know, when you're looking at that, if I was a contractor, I wouldn't sign this. I'd sign a contract with the owner, with the landowner.
Right,
Maybe we should take that out.
And you should just remove that whole. bullet.
yeah, it seems like it's simplified.
Okay.
And the signature of the contractor on the front page of the,
I don't think you did make some sense to find this thing.
I wouldn't sign it if I was a contractor.
Um,
Plus, you don't know what the property owner might come and undo what you did.
I know.
Right, right, well, yeah, I mean,
Responsible.
that's a sticky situation, yeah. Contractor's name and address, that makes sense, but the contractor to sign the application?
And we decided that we didn't want the contractor filling out the application
No, you
only
want-
in their name, that the
only-
property owner has to be
The owner.
the responsible party.
So we're making progress.
So we're taking the contractor. no,
It's a
perfect.
lot, no?
That takes the eyes.
So once we get the, I could say, clean copy, I don't know if that's the final copy or whatever.
The next,
We'll still have an opportunity if somebody reads something that says, well, how did we not catch this? You know?
Yeah.
We'll still have an opportunity to do it.
and you'll get some fresh eyes when the notice goes out that there's gonna, this is an ordinance coming. And you may very well get feedback
Mhm.
from people who read it and say this isn't clear, and then. Without changing intent, you can improve the language, which is most of what this is, it's just. Trying to make
Once
it clear.
it's adopted, you can't change the ordinance without redoing the ordinance.
Oh,
Right, that's why you want to get those fresh eyes on it.
all right.
I would think you should make that a motion at this point to move forward with the ordinance
Oh, yeah, that would be.
rather than the policy.
Yeah,
So I make a motion that we follow on, making this an ordinance. And not a policy,
yeah, just say that, there's no
I'll
else.
second that.
And then maybe in that motion. Could it say, lay out a little bit of the procedure that you just mentioned, that we're gonna be. Getting
to change it to an ordinance.
we'll get a new draft.
Hmm.
And we'll. If we don't have any issues with it, we'll send it to the, I mean, I don't know how much we want to put in the minutes, but. Probably not a bad thing to kind of lay
Yeah.
out, but. yeah.
It doesn't need to be part of the motion, but could certainly be. So that people reading it would know what the next step will be.
So this becomes the ordinance. Instead of class for having a legal policy, if it's the ordinance and it's fully clean. Basically all the same stuff.
Yeah. So just changing the name. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Unanimous. Okay. Good work.
That's what, yeah. Thank you very much.
Still have two more things.
Huh?
Still have two more things.
I have so much more.
Don't go anywhere.
I'm not prepared. Yeah.
No, but maybe.
Maybe I will be.
So, Act 181, actually, I had signed up for something that's happening and gonna be happening in 15 minutes, so I'm not gonna be on it, but there's a Zoom meeting about how to navigate. This Act 181, you know. That's gonna be at 6 o'clock, NVDA is having that
Oh.
Zoom thing. So, it'll be kind of interesting, I mean, what I've read about that, what they want to do with it's not a bad thing, I don't think they're gonna be combining all these different designations into one new. housekeeping thing. So I don't know if I missed anything, it didn't seem too concerning to me. Anybody else following it? At all?
I have been,
You have or have not?
I have,
Yeah.
hurts my head, yeah.
And so what's your feeling about it? Thank you, Lynn.
Thank
you
all. Thank you all, yeah. You just gotta learn all this stuff all over again.
Yeah.
About.
But it's
not,
basically-
it just feels, right now, it feels a little overwhelming, and I'm glad that the regional planning commission will be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know it's gonna be a little, um, like learn to walk again. Yeah, I mean, just it's just all these different levels and things.
So that's more just as a informational here, that here we don't have to act on that. You have anything more to say about that? Other than what you just said.
About, no, we're, the planning commission know, and the DRB will, get themselves informed.
Okay, we go to number 8, then update on proposed water project. Anything
Any
to
update on it?
report there?
The only thing I know is the last email I saw, which was they're trying to get an appointment with the lady at the state to ask the questions
Yeah.
from our last meeting. And, haven't heard any email since then. So, I'll find out something.
No, I don't think I'm getting anything now that it's active.
And, our bond is completely funded and approved, so that was a complicated process.
For the money,
Lots of paperwork,
good.
so it's all been funded through the bond bank, I think it's called. We don't get that money, we submit,
Yeah,
Good.
so we're actually gonna start seeing bills pretty soon.
right, they said in
Last
May,
thing.
but, that's what, also, we're waiting to hear back from the ladies that were here regarding speaking to their boss about how they're gonna bill us.
Yeah,
We
we haven't heard
haven't
nothing on that yet.
So-
I know some.
Yeah, so when we do though, when we get a bill, we're gonna have to pay it, and they might be able to wait a little bit, that's one of the clarifications.
Yes.
For us. And then from the state, yes,
If you wanna put it in the minutes, the A&R person's name is Lynette Ladone, and I can spell it for you.
yeah, I think we had that name when we.
Yeah, and that,
Lynette.
LYNNETTE CLAUDON.
which is not much longer, the alphabet would be too short.
Yeah, so it's there.
Too long.
Just thought
Sure, thank you for that.
because they weren't very clear, they kept saying Lynette.
Yeah,
And Lynette and I worked in the same department, so, I know.
So the conversations though will be between them and Lynette. And I mean, maybe us at some point, I don't know that. But, okay. Thank you. So we'll just wait to hear more and go from there.
Those are the things you wanted to hear.
Yeah, maybe the input on the draft FEMA maps, did we get to see those? The ones that we couldn't open, did you sent them to us and I never.
I did send them to
Yeah, I
you,
know you did, I remember.
Dickie got them finally from
I
them.
was gonna look at them, did you get to see those?
I looked at them, but I didn't mean
Didn't you?
anything to me. I didn't know how to read them.
Yeah, I remember.
I can open it up.
You couldn't open them?
Well, I sent them again and they were as PDFs, so, or
Yeah.
Nikki sent them.
Oh,
Did you send them from the info app?
It's a max, but
Mm,
And they're
I think I'm missing some emails too.
just all like,
From now, they say assistant town clerk. I know it was confusing. It said like general mail or something when I sent stuff. Now it says assistant town clerk. Even I was deleting stuff I was sending myself. Because it didn't, it just still wasn't registering.
Did it come with this package that we just got for the board?
No.
No, that was before,
it came.
Yeah.
We can send them again.
All the
I'm missing a few of those.
Yeah,
I didn't get any of that.
they
You
would,
didn't get the packet?
and are you
What do you
saying
like
like
about
about between us?
20 attachments, I don't know.
I
The
did,
packet for this last select meeting?
we're talking about for the
FEMA,
FEMA.
No, I didn't get
No,
it.
that
You got the
was,
select board packet though?
Nope.
Like
for this meeting,
No,
for this meeting?
no,
no kidding.
really?
Yeah, no.
no.
You missed all that reading?
Well,
Well, you-
Well, let's send it to them again.
send it to me twice.
I'll have to check, cause I have the select board set up as a group, maybe it's just not.
I'm not getting
You guys got it, right?
Yes,
I got one.
yeah,
I
so
didn't
I
get
think,
mine.
yeah, back to the map, so I think we should try to take a good look at that and maybe. Maybe Will would be a good one to see it as well as zoning administrator, because if there's some changes that are. That don't make sense, they wanna know that, the people who created those maps.
And should the DRB look at them?
Like when
Yeah, I
your
think-
side hill was considered,
Underwater and it's.
no, I went for solar side, that it was open field and we said it's maple, sugar maple, and they had it. That was a state map that somebody made, they
Yeah.
had the side hill
So
as
that,
open field.
yeah, I had attended a meeting on Zoom about that, it was,
Mhm.
you know, it was a very interesting meeting, the speaker was excellent, and he had made a real point. Suggesting that the towns all take a look at the
Okay.
delineation, because they've made, there's been some changes, he said. From whatever they
Yeah.
did years ago,
That's
and if it
I know.
just doesn't make
I
sense, they
heard.
wanna know.
right.
Thank you, Gary.
So anything you do, Nick, you'll say GM, right? General mailbox, when it comes in.
They used to say that, now it should say assistant town clerk.
None of it. I
I'll
haven't
check
received
tomorrow,
them.
make sure that it's.
I look for it, assistant clerk, AC, you're talking, right?
I think that I
Assistant
looked
clerk,
at some maps
that's
recently.
I got the updates to legal trail policy and permit.
Darn.
Um,
And then there's like some red
Didn't get the
lines.
packet for this
Oh.
meeting?
Then the packet.
Packet was last Thursday.
I'll have to check, cause I just have you guys in a group, so I don't even select your email anymore, I just send everything to your group.
So Pat, is the DRB or the planning
Mhm.
commission gonna look at that, or
Well, I think
Are you gonna
I
be
will
meeting?
ask people to, yeah,
we
Is it
could,
showed in it?
you could forward, but I send you to them.
oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'll
The
look
more
at it,
people
make
that look
sure.
at it,
I didn't
Maybe
get
it's putting me in spam or something.
What's the
Oh,
timeline?
check my mail.
I have
Assistant
no
town
idea.
clerk, that's what.
Oh,
Spam,
look at the trash.
Trash.
That wasn't trash.
that mean you had to put it in,
Wait a minute, I'm looking. No, I don't see it in here.
not in spam.
Okay, well,
Oh,
that'll get figured out, right?
Yeah, no big deal.
So what would your timeline be, just if we get the maps and then to ask the members of the.
I'm not
the
sure, that-
DRB. to
I guess
if
that
they-
question would probably be best asked to the guy who was running that meeting, and I don't remember if he. Given a timeline. This is already like a month ago. Or so.
You could ask them the question of the timeline.
Yeah, do you have the guy's contact?
So you'll let me know.
Yep.
All right,
Okay, so we don't have any.
all right. But yeah, if it seems like a good idea, I can have.
Well, if everybody just kind of looks at him and then.
Right, right,
Something
if
might
something-
jump at him and say. hey,
Exactly.
They keep nothing about
Yeah.
it.
iPad phone.
It's not, it's not the sea level.
Okay, so number 10.
If you want to.
Approve local emergency management plan.
So I'm working on that. They have another new format and I've started converting everything over, but it's not quite the same, so I'm gonna have to reach out to the guy that at the state that's helping us. We have till July or June 1st is the deadline to get it turned in, so I can forward you that draft copy prior, and it doesn't require a signature, an electronic signature is fine. So
So, are there any
It's hard.
substantive changes that we need to know about? Or is it
No.
all pretty the
they just
same? It's just-
reformatted the document again.
So then, should we wait to see the final copy before approving?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just do that.
And it's just
Thank you, Brad.
updating all the
Thank you.
names and phone numbers and
Mm,
so I'm taking Karen's name out of a lot of places and putting Nikki's name in. I'm putting Lisa's name in as a facilities coordinator. So, things like that.
Okay. Number 11, treasurer's report.
I'll make a motion to approve the warrant.
I'll second that motion.
Any questions about that from anybody? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Right,
Unanimous. Okay, review general and highway fund budget status reports. Which we received already, except you didn't get it.
nope,
I didn't see anything that was really.
Nope. A little bit. Yeah, we should know, pretty good.
I do now. I'd like to-
And review investments, emailed in advance.
I saw a copy of that.
I have a little comment on that one.
Okay,
When the auditor came, the auditor report and stuff, he asked me for Edward Jones for the statement for December, and I sent it to him, and he goes. Lisa, I need December, I'm like, yes, it is December, but come to find out, I gave him November instead. And the calculation here, what you could see, did you see, I had it highlight, it says wrong amount in December.
Right here.
Mhm. You don't have a copy of that. You'll have to share.
so,
So what I did actually, when I first did the statement. Like starting this year. And with the budget and everything, I went with November statement instead of December statement at the end of the year, 2024.
okay,
So when I put the numbers in, I put November instead of December.
so it was a little higher in November than in December.
So basically, we were, yes, a difference of 2,526.09 that I. And the one that's really hurting, it's like it's the library. They're, because they were showing that they, they kept saying they did 8,000 last year, but basically they did only 6.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
So from going forward now, I'm having, Nikki's gonna be my assistant next year, but I mean, I'm in Donna right now, so they're checking to make sure that I have the right statement every month. I mean, it's because I think what happened is like, I thought when I went to print out my statement that it was out and it was not out yet. And I print out in November. So from now on, they're gonna double check to make sure I have the same statement, and we're gonna have 3 people so we're gonna make sure that we have the right numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was something.
It's only a
that I-
couple $1,000, I mean, 2,500.
But like April, it's really this amount,
Right.
193, and it's really the right statement. It's this, April.
It's just at the end of the year when they audit it, yeah.
It's just at the end of the year that, they, he made me realize like, wait a minute, this is something that I did wrong. So yes, I mean, everybody does a mistake, but
Oh, yeah.
I just wanna make sure that it's appointed, and it's like I said, it's the library that. Especially the amount is the big changes on that account.
Yeah. Instead of-
Well, that's, any investments have been kind of. Things have recovered quite a bit in the last few weeks.
Yeah,
And also, I do have an appointment with,
And
Dan for them to meet on the next meeting, like board meeting. So, but apparently Jen cannot be there, Carrie, so it's gonna be,
You mean
Yeah.
library meeting?
yeah, library meeting, well, I mean, for here, select board.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna do it here at the select board.
so
Yes, he
Dan's gonna
can.
be here at our next select board.
He's gonna be on the Zoom meeting, and he's gonna review this with the library board. But the library board, it would be represented by Karen and, what's her name?
Here.
No, the one,
Rebecca.
Luke, yeah, Rebecca,
Rebecca.
last name I can't remember.
Balance wins.
Well, that's twice.
So. They're gonna review this with us.
Okay.
I just wanted to update you that
Okay,
Thank you.
so that's it for.
that's it for the investment for Edward Jones. We have, I got the draft for the audit here. I gave you a copy of it. Everything seems to be,
What a reading material.
yes, I'm gonna let you read it.
You are, quite of our study.
Study it at the next meeting, then we could probably sign it and say that everything was okay, you know.
Boy, I'm a backflip reader.
Oh, it's not proofreading,
Oh, that.
it's just reading and understanding.
Okay, yes.
Every word.
Well, see, like, I'm just
Well, that's
looking
not
like,
bad.
you know, we accounted no certificate difficulty in dealing with the management and perform and completing our audit, so meaning like the management, us, easy to do it. They said we're pleased to report that no such disagreement during the course of this audit. To our knowledge, there were no such consulting or with other accountants, so it's basically just that they didn't have to go back to check with other accountants. We're not in the, this is one, but the main one here is the third page. Like the financial statement in the bottom. All those lines. From one,
Down here?
yeah, 1 to 49. It's basically saying that all what they did and I didn't see nothing. Everything was good what they did with whatever.
If they find something, well, like you just told us about the report, that they
They
tell
would,
us,
they would,
write it out.
like the final statement here, they would say something like, see, we acknowledge the responsibility, we're not seeing no fraud or error. In the maintenance of the internal control. Maintenance and internal control prevent was not detected. To the related party relation transaction included revenue and expenditure, expense, loan transfer, leasing, and amount received from payable related parties have been properly accounted for the disclosed in their accordance with the GAAP.
Yeah. Accepted
Counting.
practice,
I'm
accounting
reading it.
practices.
An adjustment, you know, they're just saying like, I didn't see nothing. Cause it would have been like. And they said designated Lisa Delands, who has suitable skill and knowledge and our experience to oversee the service. I guess I'm.
There's a pound of
It's not fired yet.
that.
So accepted responsibly reserved, yeah, so, no, of course they gave me some, you know, some adjustment to do, but you know, those are things that I expect to do, like, you know, like something that. It was nothing to care, because they even said that we didn't have no bills that was bringing on to 2025, everything was paid in 2024, but it's more like FEMA. Restoration, they want us to just show that we're carrying over the next year, it's just adjustments like that, so. Please look at this again, like it's a little homework to read at nighttime.
Yeah, so they didn't point out any procedures that we could do different. I'm not talking about numbers right now, but sometimes the accountants.
I haven't seen no, because he was quick, he was here 2.5 days, he was done.
Really?
Yeah, well.
So it's getting easier because they have all our numbers now and they don't have to look as much, and
But they send a different person each year,
each
Yeah.
year's a different
Good
person.
though.
That's normal,
because it's more thorough and they don't skip over stuff. That they
right?
learned last year, and they're making sure we're doing it right every year.
Oh, good,
So
thank you.
And what we,
So, Eric's not here.
Exactly.
Eric?
Oh, we got one more.
11E.
Oh. Section,
Yeah,
the LPP inspection.
I just wanna go over real quick that we did some of it. I feel like a teacher.
you are.
We did the, you know, put the tape over here, the bar, we did
Yeah.
this. I called Jason, he's gonna replace it. This is okay. This is actually, B&H is gonna do this, put the cover on this.
let's see, where are we here now?
That's the sprinkler.
Oh,
head.
from the spring ahead.
Oh, yes,
So he said that they could do that, he's gonna order it.
Yes, you forgot to lower the fire extinguisher.
That's, yes,
Yeah,
that
thank
was the whole thing coming in. And
that one's kind of low priority though.
that, I did talk to Nick about it, he ordered it, so he's still wait, I mean, that, but I mean, the sink,
Oh, your eyewash station.
eye wash,
Yeah.
Nick's, or he ordered it, but it's not in yet, so as soon as it comes in, he's gonna go install it, but this section here, I don't know what to do with this here with
Sort it
the.
out.
Oh, that was.
So
that
someone
was-
needs to take a picture.
The only thing he pointed out there is that propane, that little propane tank.
Yeah,
So everything is okay now, that propane tank, he says, get it out of here.
Shouldn't
So I
be
don't know
with
what
the
he means by that.
chemicals. He doesn't want it with the chemicals.
No.
Well,
Because they say like to put it in the cabinet and stuff, that's why
this
it's
is a
not,
cabinet,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's supposed to be locked
what did it
and
say about it?
we're supposed to actually have
recommend.
documents on every different chemical and,
Yeah, he didn't complain about that though, they
oh
marked it.
yeah, that's good.
He didn't, that cabinet.
MSD sheets and all that stuff
Yeah,
too.
who's got those, I mean.
so where's that cabinet, a town garage?
In the little.
That little
Symbol of what's on it, or if
And he's
it's
okay
water, or
with
if
it.
it's
Just
sand
that
soap, or
propane
if
tank.
it's.
Well,
He
take
said,
it out.
look around, he says, everybody's got one.
Oh, yeah.
So
Needs to go out
if you
there.
could just take it out, like you said, take a picture. As
Take it
soon
out
as you
instead
do it, like you're.
Take a picture without the tank.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but don't put it back in their face, but, and just send it to me, so then I could send them the picture to show that it's done.
Leave a reminder in the cash drawer today, so I don't forget to vote.
Oh, I can do that, yep.
Thank you. I'm right there.
And then the other one is that,
take that
and
picture
the hood.
I think we took it out, I don't think that tank's there anymore, I think I put it on a cover
But
somewhere.
it doesn't show the tank though.
Yeah, that little tank.
A little blue one,
That blue thing,
propane tank.
Oh, here.
a little,
Everybody's got a torch.
yeah,
What does he have, a little torch on it or something, or?
yeah. Yeah, everybody's got one of those to heat stuff,
They're great fire starters.
yeah, that's what it is.
And the other one was the hood. System must be permitted by the Vermont DOL fire permit.
They're talking about the hood at the community
Yeah.
center.
Yeah,
Where
that's,
do we call for? Do
We
we
have never had that.
We never had one.
I don't think, see, he rates those, right? What's the priority on that one? Does it say low? priority?
Low.
Yeah, so I wouldn't worry
I
about it.
wouldn't worry
So I
about
just
that.
skip
Because we don't do, we don't do.
You don't fight
If we had a
for
fry later,
Yeah.
a different story.
No fire.
And that one in the mixer, the same thing.
Well, the mixer, we did a little sign.
Yeah.
Denny's like, where did this sign come from?
Yeah, nobody under 18 years old, but don't worry, there's nobody in here working that's under 18 years old.
I should put it underneath, so I took a picture and yes, so yeah, so that one. And then the other
Did
one-
you use that mixer?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, it's a really nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
So your car work okay?
Yes, it's perfect. I just gotta find my curtain. And then the chair, and then that's it. That's all. If you, I'm gonna write your note, fire
Thank you.
fitness thing. If you could take me a picture at the same time for this, it'll be good.
Yeah. That.
But then I could send this-
Cabinets on the left.
Yeah.
In there.
Then we gotta drop the fire extinguisher.
You don't let me know.
Okay,
So this report will be done.
We're good.
I'll bring some tools with me.
We go back to 5.
we can go back to 5.
I guess Jen isn't gonna be here. I didn't get the memo.
Okay.
So I'm not sure,
Is there anything,
well, we were gonna talk about the memorandum of understanding, so I don't know if you want to.
Write something up.
Well, we were gonna talk about it at this meeting. Nikki had gotten some samples. And
Okay,
you thought maybe it would be better to come to be generated from the trustees. So if you want, I could just ask them to do a draft.
So I had read all those and there was one of them that really, I think somebody who sent it to us?
I think that was the agenda.
The what?
Maybe it came from.
Donna got
from
those.
Jen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think they had suggested that one of them was pretty close to what we would need, and I agreed with that. It wasn't, we can put that off to the next meeting.
So I'll
Or
just ask
them
them to generate something that's customized for us that they feel comfortable with. That work? And we can talk about it next.
Did they say anything about the parking lot? If they gonna
I did
Well,
not
The
hear,
expense, taking the expense of their funds, or,
I did not hear yet. I think they were waiting for a quote, which I don't think they got.
you know, Eric hasn't given a quote yet.
So I don't
They
think
work
they
on-
were gonna decide till they had the quote. So can you ask Eric about that? Or he's coming actually. Said he should be here in about a half an hour.
Okay. I will-
Wow.
All right. So we'll wait for the sign stuff doing everything till he gets here if he's started. Number 13, Merck grant, open sealed bids. I saw guys over there the other day, I think we just had the town garage and they were walking around and I figured they were probably working on a bid.
Yeah, I think they didn't end up putting a bid in.
Is that the one I went? I was there one night with a lot of friends.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Did they cut a bid
No,
for the windows?
Well, doesn't say on the outside that's in here.
Are you surprised?
Mitchell did cut a bid, they did?
Fuel number on it or what?
Full name, Jeff Dunn Building. This is for the library,
Yeah, his
sealed bids.
Rose daughter's boyfriend,
Who's the
Husband.
boyfriend?
Michelle Burrows.
Okay.
Oh,
No, they're not married.
Oh, they're not there?
No.
so, let's see what this thing in here. Word. Must be something in here. Okay, 7 Anderson windows.
and this is to install the windows we're providing, right?
Yeah.
This, I think he just.
Later
bid on the
maintenance,
bathroom. I think he just
as
bid on the
needed,
bathroom.
insulation around
I
the
don't think he
windows.
bid on
Well, it says 7.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you
That's
told
the
me
thing
that.
that printed out, I think.
Those Anderson windows is just building here, town clerk's office.
Yeah, that's just the thing that printed offline,
Okay, so then I don't.
that went with everybody.
This is the insurance certificate.
So Nikki said he's only bidding on the bathroom.
I believe he only submitted a bid to do the library bathroom, I believe. But
We should get to it here in a minute.
did think he's available to do like all the attic installation and stuff that we didn't get any bids on. You need somebody to do that stuff, like the door seal and the stuff we did.
This is all insurance certificate.
Yeah.
Okay, this was in there too, but it was probably getting down to the meat of the matter here. Proposal to install ADA compliant door in the Hitchcock Library in Westfield.
Maybe the push door on the back rooms.
This will have a handicap threshold and ADA compliant push bar inside the door, lever action handle outside the door to be able to pull the door. I have calculated for a steel door and steel jamb with weather strips on the inside.
Yeah, we already designed that door. Pauline from Pauline, Lisa,
What's that?
Pauline ever give us a bid for that door too, way back last year.
Yeah, so, both
Yeah, but
walls.
it's gonna need to be redone because with the market right now,
Yeah,
it goes
yeah,
up and down.
And I think we went all PVC because they last longer,
The doors, they don't rust, yeah.
they don't rust.
Both walls are planned to be moved as well as drywall hung on all sides of walls inside and out on ceilings. With the bathroom, this drywall will be taped, floated, sanded as well as primed and painted. I have proposed to install vinyl flooring in the bathroom. Color to be determined as well as vinyl trim around the baseboard. Trim to be determined on the outside of the bathroom against floor. This also includes to make wider the opening from the entrance room into the main room itself. I will do my best to keep the older trim as much as possible and as well. To my understanding, all electrical and plumbing is not to be in my part of proposal, and that is how I have priced this. We will be very dust protected as we do this project. We will not destroy the place with dust. The books will be covered with drop cloths and dust will be managed to the best of our ability. you have any other project involved that you are having trouble getting people to schedule, and I can do them. That time and material, $55 per man hour. I will have this project done at the latest, at the end of winter and earliest late 2025.
So that price there, is that for
That's
all,
17,000.
all the apartment, all the building material and everything?
See what it does say right here. 17. Well, it says installation, but it
Doesn't say to buy materials,
didn't say,
So it's gonna be, you're
hanging the drywall,
yeah.
so no steel work.
gonna be buying the material.
Install the door, it didn't say specifically, unless I missed
It
it.
did say you calculated steel door, steel jam, was
Okay, so it must be
the
that.
door, maybe you need clarification on if he's gonna buy all the material to do that bathroom over.
Did it say time and materials or did it?
Cause he had a price of steel door, looks like. He
Yeah.
said it's steel door, so you gotta price that.
Is
Oh, he's gonna be-
is a vinyl door cheaper or more expensive?
They're a little more, the PVC do a little more.
Supposed to install vinyl flooring in the bathroom, I'm kind of
I'm
thinking that.
assuming it's all materials, you pay bad.
But not the plumbing,
No,
not the plumbing, and then. So if whoever does that would have to be coordinating with Nick, and if they end up doing the heat pump there.
the bathroom, at the library.
Because when the plumbing is being done, it'd be nice to have some of that stuff in the wall. So they have to work together a little bit. Timing wise.
Does your please attach detailed bid including materials and everything?
And labor. So where the attachment bit, yeah, this.
So that was the one we just did, right? Wasn't that it? That?
Okay, that is.
It doesn't put all
That's what
material?
it says,
Oh,
Is
including
that,
materials and labor.
do we have another bid too? No,
that's for the bathroom,
That's for the bathroom and the
The
door,
door.
and it includes,
that door is $3,000, so they bad.
it includes widening the door to go into the library.
Right.
Sheet rock, paint.
So does that door need to be closed? Does that have to have a door?
Yeah, we talked about making one that night I was there. We're gonna take that door and we're gonna attach. 2 inches on each side to make it wider, and use the same door.
Yeah, okay.
Remember we talked about that?
Yeah, I
I
remember
thought
now.
you said there was no door at the
No,
top.
they need a door.
Yeah, but, okay, so let's talk about
They
that.
need a door, they need.
Because at the time with Jake, we were saying that we were doing no doors.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Well, we had that meeting, remember you and I went that
Yeah.
meeting? They were talking about that door.
Okay, so that's after I left, maybe we talked.
We're
About
talking about the
taking it-
door between the rooms.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, and at the time they were saying, that's why it's like, this is important when you have changes like that we know because.
Yeah, so that door, we can get some, that material can be added on to it.
So,
I think.
so he could install it if you
Yeah.
widen the door. Talking about widening it anyway.
He did say that.
Yeah.
And use
But
the
if you want
materials.
the door.
No, we wanna keep the same look of the library.
Do some,
We're gonna add on 2 inches on each side of the door.
so that
It's an inch and a half thick, that door, and I'm gonna add 2 pieces of wood. And we're gonna pin it, put some pegs in there.
So here, I'll do my best to keep the older trim as much as possible in the doorway.
Yeah.
That way it matches inside the library.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Does anybody
he
know
does not,
what kind of work he does?
He's
Yeah.
very good. He's
He did all
Very,
that
very,
stuff,
very
he
good.
does good work, I
got
seen
the
his work,
coolers over here. He does a lot. Oh no, he's very well.
I seen his work.
so this
You
bid
actually
isn't
did what you
accurate
said,
because
though.
he needs to give
Yeah, you did.
another door.
No, because George is gonna widen the door, right?
Yeah.
So the door is, the
So
bid
we're
is,
gonna use the door that's there.
The old one.
the door that's there.
Oh, no, but if he wants white, he can, if he wants to.
Well, this is why you can't.
Well, the door needs to go back in.
I know, but it's
We're
just
gonna
that
use the
we are
same
saying
hinges.
things to the guys and then it's
Well, I
like,
know,
come
we're
back
gonna use,
and.
we're gonna use the same hinder, we're just gonna add, I think you need 2 inches wider.
So
So who went with him?
Yeah. it was
Who was
just-
it?
I didn't go with Dennis, I didn't go with him.
Nikki,
You did?
Cause he's pretty thorough.
And did you talk about having a door or not?
So I didn't know, I went with them, but Lisa wasn't available to go, so I asked her after if she knew if there was a door there, and she said no. So as far as he was
Well,
aware.
the night of the
there was
first,
no
we met the
door.
first TV, they wanna keep the door there.
Yeah, so it doesn't really change his bid too much.
No, it doesn't change for that one.
You know, he knows he has to widen the doorway. And if there's a
We add on
door,
the door 2 inches, it's, you know.
But it doesn't really matter, because he's the only one, and like I was gonna tell you, he did Don Berthium's garage outside, so it's a really nice built garage too. So I'm just saying, we're gonna have some changes now that it might not go exactly the amount that it said, I don't know what he said for the amount.
And we may
but-
go with PVC door,
But he said he could work with it, cause I really didn't know, so like bring him there that night, you just measure him and stuff.
that
kinda
door,
going with
that door,
whatever
we
he
can
said.
have Roger put downstairs in the basement, the community center, Roger's, that door we taking out,
yeah,
we're gonna put it in the community center downstairs.
to make that more warm.
No, like, no, the window
that's the,
basement,
where you walk in, the walk,
that little door inside, take that
Oh,
right
yeah,
out.
that door,
That would
but
make
the
a
other
huge-
door is gonna be like an emergency door,
Yeah.
or, yeah, right?
Door's gonna be.
I can't believe that they did not suggest that when they went and did the energy audit. I mean, that is a complete no-brainer.
Yeah, well,
To
Well,
put that
they're-
door
But they're
downstairs.
gonna cover it, so.
yeah, so we're gonna move that door there, and, we're gonna start frame it, and we're gonna move it there.
I see you pay attention to detail, only
You did a good
concerned
job.
about dust and stuff inside.
Yes.
I read the animals, the books and stuff, I think,
So the book, they're gonna.
the
move
rates
the
are
book.
very good.
The ladies are.
I paid more than that 3 years ago from Manor.
All those books, they're gonna enter the whole room when we start that bathroom.
Back room,
They're gonna enter the whole room.
Take all the books out.
They will lock them all up, and get out of there.
So if we think that we want a vinyl door, they need to know that. We give them the bid.
The PVC,
I keep saying vinyl, but yeah, PVC. If
What
it's-
kind of door is that at the community center, that outside door?
it's fiberglass, the one business.
fiberglass.
Yeah, the one that's good.
The one upstairs, I think, is all PVC, that's in the, upstairs in the one we replaced, that's all PVC.
So is that PVC door gonna be stronger than the fiberglass door?
I got some PVC doors.
Yeah, I like
They
it.
work good, and they don't hang as easy.
No.
No, it's rugged, but I'm sure that one with the push bar is gonna have some kind of structure in it.
I think that one up here, yeah, they're gonna, when the handicap go. I'm almost 90% sure that one up here is upstairs is a PVC. And the one at the library, you wanna order that. When you make that door, let me order that PVC casing. Where the vinyl comes into it, down, no J channel. You get a 4 inch. A 4 inch, round, no, for your casement. Then your vinyl comes right behind it. You don't talk about that.
I've got vinyl cases in my downstairs out back.
No.
It's weather,
Not worried about,
no more rot, no more nothing.
no.
No. The cases don't take long to rot.
No, I think the price is right on that bathroom.
Sounds
Is
reasonable.
that something though that they say you could start, when is this?
Well, I think his thought was it would be good like fall, winter work, but if he had like rainy times, he could do it too if. He could get in there, obviously.
Well, fall could be at the bathroom, though, for
You know, I
sure.
told Mitchell you can do that this fall too, this fall or first Friday, whatever, door, you know, get it done, no, sooner, but,
They have to have plenty of notice, though,
yeah.
Yeah,
because they've got a lot of work to do to get ready for it. To
So
get
did
the
you order
rooms
the ones,
cleaned out.
that ordered the windows?
We're gonna talk about it tonight, because he called me today. They ain't signed over nothing yet, on the
You're
way,
gonna talk to who up to this tonight here?
yeah, probably bid in it, I don't know.
That's what, this is where we're at right now, so just go
We're
ahead.
there. We're there.
We're there, so you can talk
13D.
about it next.
so do we wanna take one thing at a time, though, do we wanna accept this bid? Or are we ready? Do we have enough information to accept this bid?
I think we do, but and nobody else has been on so far, right?
Yeah.
This is the only bit.
And he knows
And
where I go up to the
it's
window.
closed. The
I
time's
told him
passed.
where I thought you were going,
Yeah.
was up to the window, and so, like he said, he'd probably just talk to you guys, because
Mhm.
obviously I did not
Yeah.
know the specifics, so he was just kind of going on what I
And we're
told
gonna
him.
go tighten the casing, close the casing in of the bath, where is the bath door gonna be, on the end, on the side? And be able to talk about
I
that,
can really go for the next budget.
Oh, it's good, well, yeah.
should be probably on the
Depends
side.
on
I
Well,
think you should do a little drawing room.
Yeah. it needs to
And
be-
then
Where the-
we have to make sure that the
Thank you.
trustees are okay with it, but I thought we were thinking the door was gonna be
Right
like,
there. Coming from the side, this is your library door.
well, you gotta think that the toilet here, but
Yeah.
now they want a table, so the window's here, right?
Mhm.
Diaper changing station.
Yeah, you got a window right here. So your toilet, your sink gonna be here on the end, looks like, right?
So I'm thinking like they're gonna have to go around to go in this way.
You think so?
That's kind
The
of,
door, the door will have to open up in the window,
that's sharp for a wheelchair.
right?
Yeah. I
So if
think
you go in here,
Have to go in there. I think.
36 inches, changing room probably could go in the corner here.
And then the sink for the.
Bathroom.
For the mop, what do you call that?
Oh,
Yeah,
the
it's-
wash basin, whatever you wanna call it, the
But
mop
you
thing.
can't really put it in there because
There's
with
no
the
room.
light, there's no
There's
room.
no room, how much does that take, well, the.
Well, it's cause you gotta think when they measure, like if you take the community center right now, it's like a little short. So you gotta think when you turn around with the wheelchair, you can't hit nothing else.
Yeah.
That could be
Well, you can put
measurements.
you can put a faucet in there with a hose on it,
That's
to
probably.
fill your mop buckets up.
Yeah, you can do
Easy.
that, you can do that. Great
I
idea.
mean, that's,
That doesn't take any room.
no,
Put a mixed valve of hot and cold
It's not
together.
like-
yeah, just a little hose, just a little tiny hose, and that's all you need.
You know
to
what,
clean
that's a
up.
good idea.
Yeah, and it's not like they use that.
All they gotta do is put a hot and cold
That's
together,
why
one
kids in
pot.
there.
That would be.
That'd be great fun if you're an unruly child in the bathroom.
We could open it.
Water fights.
We could put the valve out of reach, way up.
Well, I think that's just doing it that way, it's gonna probably be.
And that can be
So
locked
if you
up,
do
too.
the door here, then the door opens here against the
That wall's
wall.
gonna be
I would do
unusable.
it this way.
Yeah, that's
That
the
wall
wall.
will be.
And then toilet here and then the diaper change right there.
Yeah.
Could you put a pocket door in there?
That's.
Save a lot of, save a lot of space.
But you're gonna be handicapped.
Oh, can't do that.
Gotta have those handicap handles. You don't need a push by now, you're just gonna have the handicap door on.
Yeah.
What we got here.
Are they able to shut the door if they can have it going backwards? Just trying.
No,
That's why it's gotta be,
Look
there's gotta be a sketch.
Go around and back up.
The door is
That's
gonna
no
have to
window.
open against that wall.
Yes, yeah.
Otherwise.
But I think, since, we could ask him to make a proper sketch, because he has the designs and everything, and then we could
I
go.
think,
from
yeah, if you knew the dimensions or like where you wanted the wall
Yeah.
to go, then I think it'd
Yeah.
be easier, it's just
It would be,
Was guessing.
it would probably be worthwhile to have him and Nick get together there too.
Yeah, if they're gonna hire him, we need to
Well,
get,
now that Nick knows who it is, then they're gonna talk to each other.
yeah, don't talk to each other,
Yeah.
we'll make the plan.
Yeah. So.
He'll rough it in and he'll come in and, Nick will come in and rough it in,
So,
tap me to work Nick close for.
Well, I think he's more than able to do it. He's very, very talented, no
that's
doubt,
good, but,
very talented. Need a motion.
yeah,
I'll make a motion that we take Jeff Dunn to do our project in the library. Bathroom and the handicap door going to the ramp.
so should we acknowledge in the motion that there may be. Slight change.
Slight change in the bathroom.
Because of, well, the
Slight change.
door, for instance, if we go with the PVC door and it costs more,
Yeah, yeah,
that would be on us.
maybe a slight change on the handicap door and also into the library door that need to be
Widened,
widened back in.
So.
be handicap accessible.
If you can.
That one here is okay, we try to keep the same hinges, the same fixture.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't think about winding the door, but one of the girls mentioned it, yeah, you could put a couple inches on each side and peg it.
Staying at about the same color.
Yeah. That's probably, those doors are probably, it's probably, not oak, but what's it, well, ash, it's probably ash back then.
So this, he's saying here that you get steel door with steel jams. too.
Yeah, it's all, they're all like that.
So they're not wood. So when you get a PVC door, are they PVC jam or are they steel jams?
Those doors will be designed for handicap, they'll be,
But the
Yeah.
jam itself though,
Then gonna be PVC.
or steel.
yeah, you get a different door there.
He's got a commercial door, that's what he's
Well,
got.
yeah, we got commercial doors here,
Uh-huh.
we do the same thing
Yeah.
here.
Is it steel or?
This is PVC, I believe, or fiberglass with wood jams and all that.
But I thought we already had our door and I'm like, that's. Thought you had it forward. No?
Yeah, we did, we quoted it 2 years, a year ago,
A year.
last spring,
Yeah, that's.
same time, just for the
He
window.
quoted one.
Yeah, he just knew it had. to be-
But that, yeah, so it will change whatever you guys decide for doors and all that, we could go from there, but at least we have a contractor now that
Right.
could do it.
Okay, so there's a motion that we hired.
Jeff Dunn.
That we
Nice, okay.
contracted Jeff Dunn and again,
If there's
we acknowledge that there could be a little bit of a change.
Yeah.
because of-
Yeah.
little adjustments for the
Yeah.
different board meetings.
Okay,
Definitely.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
And are you letting these people know, Lisa?
Huh?
As you are getting awarded, are you letting the people know?
Well, the window, if you already order window. At the library, they're already ordered. We need to find out, if we still want, we should order 8 of the dark one. But there,
Oh, and then, some of the guys look in the folder, you have your, copies there that he sent.
did that Bo look at it? They're gonna send, I sent the information to Jennifer, but she, Bo, I haven't heard anything back from her, but we don't worry about that.
Oh, that.
Paper cut, workers'
Yeah.
comp,
Did the homework yet?
So this is all the, and then he sent this here, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I forwarded it to Jennifer, she's gonna send it to Bo, maybe I can ask about it. 8 of these windows should be upstairs, 4 on each side of the dark ones. The low E windows and they got the, it may be a few dollars different. But they recommend that we don't put any films inside any of these windows.
Yeah, well, we need to, we have to.
Right, so you only need 8 upstairs like these. So those ain't been updated for price, so I can get them updated.
Oh, they're not updated.
Well, did he give you a price on them?
Well, those are the ones right here, right next to it, right here. That's the new packet you sent last
Okay,
time.
all right. That's new week sandwich, eh?
Is there a date on that?
Yes, it says,
12/3/24.
that's the last email we got. Well, here, wait a minute, here it says,
All is one window, 899, 800.
that's the community center
Right,
in the kitchen, isn't it?
That little fella?
This is the.
It was mentioned, right
I
there.
wanna tell you, we
saw
need to
that.
get that kitchen window fixed fast. I worked in there this weekend. Oh, my God. It was hot in there.
Oh,
It
how come
was
you-
so
how
hot in
come the
there.
air conditioner is working upstairs, the air was working yesterday upstairs,
I mean, turn it off.
and when I was cleaning out that mouth. that
Okay, so this is the town garage here.
Yep.
So, and then this must be. Trying to see, this is town garage,
This here too?
yep. And this is. We should have highlighted.
Yeah.
Where does it say? It said, one of them didn't say, but
Yeah, where's he going?
yeah, one of them didn't say, because that's anything. This one said museum. So the
Museum,
first-
oh yeah, that's where it
First
says.
group is the library and then
This is
was
the community center.
So these are the library?
With, what do you, third page
So
down?
first page is the
First
library.
couple, I think, are the library. This thing, for whatever reason, is the community center. They just didn't name it.
Okay.
It's your folder. Right here, right library there, museum, or circle of museum.
Oh, right here, there you
Yeah.
go.
So, and
Museum.
then. And then that's where they said, I thought we saw it somewhere, the PH.
It said something about,
This is the 2 in the sign.
Right here, low E,
Yeah.
unit, lower, triple blade,
What,
double.
page, what?
Uh,
Three?
Three, two, yeah.
Right there, yep.
So we don't need 10, we only need 8 of these.
And here he has 12, I don't know why.
We need 8 of those, because you don't need one going up in the hallway and downstairs. So I'll correct those, and here we get how many?
Alan's 12.
Over here, okay.
But see, all these still have that June 20th, 24 date.
But you're gonna add, you gotta add the 2 more here.
We need 14 here. Instead of
So 12,
12, it should be 14, instead of 10 for the little E, it should be 8.
okay,
And
so
what
it's the
about
same amount.
Front that,
The bathroom,
not in front of the building upstairs,
The
are
ones that
you
we can't
changing? Yeah,
yeah, you need to hold the roof, that needs to be a whole unit, and I need to talk to the second, he didn't say anything about that. These are the little ones in the bathroom. These here, 36 by 36, those 2 little in the bathroom. Different sizes, these 2 here. But that vinyl, when they replace it, they replace the whole thing on the side and everything, so I'll have to talk to Craig about that. Dude. There's 12 upstairs. And there's gotta be 12 downstairs, so how many we got in total? We're missing 2, looks like.
that's 22 right now.
Yeah, and there's 12 upstairs, 10,
And there's 12 downstairs, it's 2.
yeah, there's 10, there's 12 upstairs, there should be 24 windows in total.
That's 24, 12 plus 8, right? 24?
12 plus 8 makes 20.
20.
20? 20, 14 plus 8, I mean.
You said 12.
I know, I'm sorry,
14
14
plus
plus
8
8,
still makes.
This is a test.
22, we're missing 2, we're missing
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, I'll talk, follow on that. Yeah, you put in order window, you asked me today. So how much price difference from the year before, that much?
Not really,
Very.
you look like you're,
Mm-hmm.
20 before. So what's the price then? Well, we're missing 2 windows.
So 20 to 4 was that with installation, if I remember.
Yes,
Yeah, they ain't giving no price for installation, did they?
not this one,
No. So,
but we're still missing 2 windows that are there.
yeah, okay. So I'll talk to Craig on that.
So this is community center upstairs, so upstairs is 9 windows.
Yeah.
Did you get the bathroom window?
Yeah, there's 2 in there. There's 2 doors, 2 big ones in the bathroom. So those there are all gonna be,
Has it darn leads? I can't see over there.
I told him that he needs to come down and make sure we get everything snuffed before we order them, so these are ready to be ordered too, if you wanna order them. We ain't got no installation, install it, you do it,
10. 11, I'm counting 11 upstairs.
that's what I thought.
Yeah,
Think they forgot the bathroom window.
now I forgot the
So-
one in the closet too.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there's 2 on the end, there's 2 in the back, there's 3. And I think there's 4,
4 on this side and 4 on the other side.
8,
And none on this side.
it's 8, 9, 10, 11.
Counting 4 windows here, so it's the same on the other side, so
That's
it's
8,
9 in
9,
the
10,
closet,
11. There's 2 in the bathroom.
yeah, 9 in the closet, 10, 11, so what did you,
11.
yeah, see?
Right, so I'll call on that. These are the ones, the community center, that's the ones downstairs, I believe, what we here.
That one, this one is in the,
That's
that's
the-
the kitchen.
Yeah, the kitchen, there's 2 there, like that one, there should be. There's another one here. So we got somebody, we got 3 here, yeah, there's 3 in the entrance. So we got them up.
Okay, so what about the bathroom and
Right
the,
here, there's 3 of them,
okay, and what about the other window?
kitchen right here,
Yeah, but that's on top of the sink. And what about
That's one
the
on the back.
one on the backside next to the
Well,
stove? I thought we were
has
replacing
that
that
ever
one.
been changed? I didn't pay attention on that one.
I thought you guys, that said that
I
one
thought we
too.
were doing all the windows.
Yeah. I didn't think that one, I thought that was McLean, okay, so we need two of these, we missed that one,
There's two in the kitchen.
yeah, we missed that one. My mistake,
And the drawers are lost count, so I don't know how many windows, 1, 2.
4 of them,
We don't have to do the new addition.
no, just 4. 2 big ones and 2 little ones. So these are the 2 big ones, these are. Average.
It's 7.
Up here.
Oh.
Where I get have. 2 more here for that. Got 2 big ones. Where's the 2 little ones? Right here,
The bathrooms.
yeah, right here, right here. That's what the calendar, so here, they price Anderson windows, I didn't realize that till today. For this building.
And is that what we want or not?
It's up to you guys, that's what they priced our guy Steve, that's what he wanted because it was easier to install.
I got it. They also make service parts.
Yeah.
They also make service parts, you can rebuild them and
Right,
pull them
right.
all out, that's a big bonus. My other house needed all the windows, I bought just the sashes and. the
Oh, we didn't have
mechanism for
that
the
at the
inside.
time here.
Okay.
Did each one in 15,
Well,
and
it's
had
not
to take the casings off and had to take the siding off and everything. They're all rebuilt.
Yeah, we're
So the library,
15.
so the library is 17 and they have 26,
Where mine are wood now,
so the community center.
mine house,
Well,
not
that's what it is,
Yeah.
well, I mean, nobody.
like right here, oh, this is those ones are wood.
What are you in the year?
The outside are not wood,
Yeah,
they're
pricing. Way inflation.
like a PVC outside. No paint.
But didn't you just approve this one to do it?
No, he didn't give us a price,
Oh, he did give us a price. Okay, so then, I thought it was good.
no, he didn't give him a price, he didn't give
So
us a price,
then, yes, you'll have to give us a price with it then.
yeah.
And then this is just for windows.
Just for the windows, no inflation.
So would it make sense to,
Who's gonna install them?
well, I was just gonna
Because
say,
Well,
people
Paul-
don't wanna install them if they don't get to buy them because they don't get to
Well,
mark them up.
Steve will install them, but, you know, I told Mitchell, he wants to install them, but he can, you know, we can make a donation, not a donation, but. We can give them the percentage, and they'll like to make a percent, so whatever you guys wanna do. Every contractor
That's
wants
the
to make. a
problem,
percent.
it's like, if they wanna put any,
I think technically, in the first phase, approval has awarded all the windows, right, so if they aren't gonna follow through or whatever, probably should just make a note. Like if we're gonna buy the windows separately and have someone else put them in,
Yeah,
so otherwise.
so had they had priced them installed?
they did, but they haven't given me a price yet back for installing, because now we're too late, they may not be able to get them in until first of the year. You wanna get it done sooner than later, right?
first of the year next year.
They're booked right up. That's how far ahead there, if I can find out tomorrow.
But I thought they didn't give us a bid because they didn't have enough people working or
Oh,
something.
Pauline, it's a guy named Steve that does it, he's got his own. It's a, they work together with Pauline, but they do the installation. Then he was,
Well, I could. Like I said, it was hard for them and there was last minute and it's like they couldn't.
I think it was
It was
too short of notice.
short notice, but I kept telling him and then he was busy and
Yeah,
that's
So-
what happened.
So in the meantime, though, this Jeff guy that we're giving the other contract to says that he'd be interested in doing some other work for us at $55 an hour, right?
you would be
Well,
interested?
that's what he said on his, at the bottom
I
of his
thought
bid.
he was doing it.
I just told
Push
him,
it.
like, I didn't know if he should bid on it or
Oh,
direct
you
your
talked
but
to-
he said he
See,
could
a
do
lot
all
of-
that other work.
It's one possibility that I just
We can
thought.
talk to him.
Mhm.
I mean, if we're,
So why don't I ask him then? To see how much it would be approximately, well, we need to know what kind of window we're putting in and all
But they're
that.
already here.
Okay, so we're going with those for sure.
or not.
So then I could probably ask him if he's interested and then you could come back and then we could just go forward with that. How much he would charge us per window, basically. By the
And I mean, if you guys know him, he's qualified, it sounds
Oh,
like.
he's qualified.
The only thing I told them guys that we need to keep the square, the match the rest of the building. You know, if they're gonna put new trim, some of this trim will break off, I mean, it's hard to take off.
Well, let's do that, I'm gonna tell him tomorrow that he's been accepted to do the.
And I can ask Steve if you want to try to book him, if you guys want to, I mean, I can ask Craig.
You guys sign that. This goes
So,
with this bid,
I guess the time would be
we're
the
done.
time element would have something to do with how we decide, though, if they say can't do it until February.
Right, so we gotta decide sooner.
Then we do something different. If they can do it soon,
And I think they're sure to help up there too with everything.
Everybody should have.
everybody is.
But these are innocent windows, not the
But
price ain't
since
bad on
we
these.
already chose Jeff, I'm gonna ask Jeff if he's really interested to do it, right? We're gonna do that,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna go ask him if he's gonna give us a bid, and then we could go from there. And when
Probably
exactly
don't
would you
need,
do that?
we probably don't need a bid.
We don't need a bid.
No, but I mean, just give us
Just if he wants
and
to do it.
do it, and then if you could do it, the say, so this fall, then we could plan
And
it
then
in the fall.
he's gonna need to order some trim.
Yeah.
Besides the window, he's gonna need to order some trim, so he can order that himself, you know, and be prepared for that.
Okay, so that's our first step tomorrow, to ask him.
But we are gonna try to keep this, right?
It's trim.
Yeah,
We're gonna try to keep all the trim we can. But some of the trim upstairs, the big window,
at the community center.
probably could use some of the long pieces and use it here if we have to, you know what I mean? But some of the trim is gonna break, you know, if you take it apart.
Cause I don't want any hocus pocus from any ghosts in here.
Cause this here may not fit, all these on the side may not fit the window. But this may not fit, this stuff here. Maybe too wide, if it's too narrow, then we would, no, ain't gonna work.
But we're gonna keep the squares at least.
I'm gonna keep all, I told him to keep all the trim, when I get a guy can't get a day, I said, I wanna keep all the trim. Huh?
That's right, this is a good window, you have to take it apart.
Yeah.
Not-
Okay, so
So we're gonna stick with these?
do we need to make a motion, to go ahead and order all these windows? Is that what we need to do?
We don't, we're not gonna get- we're not gonna get
We
them.
already.
Okay.
So all these windows as.
And I'm gonna tell Craig to come over and make sure we get all enough windows, may have to add a few more, looks like.
Well, why don't we come up back and we could refresh his mind,
Yeah,
and then we could, and then we need it as soon as possible.
Yeah, I told him, you know, the next, a couple of days, if we, tonight, I do know tonight, so. Larry told me.
We're already,
Come,
5 months into the year.
No.
Okay,
So I'll make a motion. We order all the windows we need for the Merck project.
We'll put in that.
and I agree.
I think it is what we, okay.
Let's see, so we've kind of, is there any more updates on the project, or is this the updates on the project?
what the update was.
This was
Yes,
update,
Okay, the windows.
Yes.
Last time we didn't do anything. For the windows.
okay.
So.
We'll go back to highway data.
Eric,
It's an aid, letter of intent to participate. That and done.
Nope, we have to do that tonight. If you want that grant.
Yep, absolutely.
is that the one that's due May 26th?
This is other.
The signature is due.
Other-
Yeah, May 26th, right?
It's a grant.
Who said that? Who's calling?
Me.
me,
So this initial offer for the grant and aid is. $10,625. But what happens is that as soon as everybody submits these, then they recalculate. Because
you could get more.
we could get more.
Probably not less, right? They probably assume
No,
that
it's-
number.
it's almost always-
Yeah.
more. Because sometimes they fill it out. So,
Last year it was over 12.
yeah. So, Eric says that he wants to work on that grant.
Let's see, just gotta sign it.
Yep.
Just a moment.
Yep.
This is what we keep getting a reminder.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what, at least I got an email yesterday, I think not. so.
Yes, we did come again yesterday.
Okay, so that's, so we don't have to decide where that's gonna be until.
No.
Okay, discuss estimate on road signs.
Richard told me yesterday, that was take off, so that's why I did it.
They double, you guys,
67?
Did you see it? Did you see it? Oh, you didn't see it?
no, I hadn't seen it.
6,700, something
I
like
thought
that?
it was pretty good, because there was a lot of signs missing.
That's signs and posts.
Yeah.
We,
They had
well,
them do
that's,
the fasteners too. There's a certain fastener they use for both.
Yeah.
so this was through safe, or what do you call it? What happened to it? The place where we got the signs last time in Barry, so they have to get picked up this time now. So I don't know how we can do that, because the lady lives in Lowell and she'll bring the signs home and you pick them up from there, but she can't.
No,
transport
we
the
got a
post.
truckload
You
there.
have to
There's
have
gonna
a
be
trailer.
a lot of weight and fines.
Right, so I said, no, we'll pick them
Might
up
as well do it all. I could.
from
go
Barry
down.
this time.
Well, I go down too, I can go down and get him. On Friday. On Monday.
Those.
You guys might want something with a flatbed trailer.
Yeah, everybody.
They'll bundle them all.
Everybody might go down.
Okay, yeah. So
It'll be easier.
there's the part that goes in the ground. And the other part is it telescopic, I mean, does
No.
it fit inside?
They do fit inside, but they just adapt.
Yeah,
You'll have a bundle of 3/4.
Yeah, I didn't mean telescopic.
No.
Yeah, they do adapt.
Do you have a copy of that?
I'm gonna have to go print it out.
Well, I can go over on my phone. I thought some of those posts were awfully long for the ground, 8-footer.
I told her.
He told
Okay,
me
all right.
that,
8 footers
And she-
and
he
the
said
ground piece
4
is 3 feet.
she said, I asked about 4 feet. like we
Yeah, she
talked
did
about,
do
and she
well.
said
She called me.
3. Yeah, she said 3 would be adequate.
yeah.
And the fasteners.
We got the
I'm gonna wanna buy 2 of those, so I don't know if we should up it or if we will have enough to sell me 2.
So I think it was 16,000 something.
No,
No.
no, 6,700.
Oh, 6,000, yeah.
About 6,700.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
go ahead.
Cause then I recalculated it and to bring it down to 3,500 or 35 signs. And
Yeah, so you know it's on there.
to get it more on the, what we budgeted.
And you got 38, you said, post?
6,200.
35.
Exactly.
Was that, and that was
That was.
getting
because
50.
Somebody handwritten on it. That was, you handwritten on that?
That was me.
Are you sure you guys really need a stop sign there?
Where?
Yes,
We looked every road.
We actually don't,
budget on
we're
that.
not required to put stop signs.
Huh?
We're not
and
required.
if there's an accident,
No,
and VLCT is not gonna say you need a stop sign there.
no, John's not required.
So where, what do you mean, where do we not have to have a stop sign?
You're not required
Any?
to have stop signs.
Huh.
We need stop signs.
They just run them over anyway, so what difference does
Well,
it
yeah,
I can't wait to spend a week putting up signs and go back and follow them, we can see half of them go.
make? Yeah, you will too.
You will, half will be on. We'll be in college dorms. For homeowners
you
too.
know, the sad part, it's not just us, everybody gets.
Oh, it's- Newport Center spends weeks, upon weeks putting signs up every year.
Yeah,
Yeah, I figured if we went to, I found it, if we went to 35 signs, it would bring it down to $4,930. And we budgeted 5,000. Right,
I thought it was funny.
I think you're right.
We might
did.
find
We
out.
did.
so if all the signs that you said were missing that we needed, if the poles were also missing, we would need 32, I think it was.
Everything that Dennis put
There's
down
no
was
poles
missing.
there. They're all poles.
We went around about 2 hours, 3 hours.
2.5 hours, yeah.
Told me, I said, where's Fisher Road? I said, we missed that. He said, we missed Fisher Road. We ain't driving over there.
I didn't know it was Montgomery.
That's in Montgomery.
I was gonna say, you went all the way to Montgomery?
That's
No,
not,
we didn't. No, we didn't go there, but that's what it was.
we don't need a road sign over there.
No.
There you go. If you did want something there, it'd be just a Montgomery Westfield.
So we had already budgeted $5,000 for signs, so do we just go ahead and order them? Do we need to make a motion? I mean, we've already,
I think you've
Approved.
already approved it.
Right.
I think we should just order what we need, because we're gonna make a trip to go down and pick them up with a
So if you
trailer.
want 50 and we just
What
put
do you
in the
think?
budget,
You mean posts?
What do you think, Eric?
That'll be like.
If we have them, we have them.
do we have any posts now?
No,
No.
I had 50 last time I had them, 100.
Yeah. No, I think.
Well, they're not gonna get cheaper probably, so.
No, they won't.
I think I put a 50.
You might as well order
No,
extras.
no.
so if you order the, well, what are we saying? I mean, you got it down to just below 5,000 with the notes that you put there.
With ordering 35 posts. If
And
we
if
go
we-
with 50 posts, it's $6,260.
And you're gonna have 15 poles extra. I mean,
I need
He's
to buy
buying
two.
two.
I need-
yeah, so.
There's 13.
I'd make a motion that we order what we need.
Okay, so that'll be a little bit,
Then it's like, we kinda figured out every one of them was missing.
Yep.
Everything that do roll down.
And should I give her my copy?
Got it right here?
is that some special hardware that comes with?
There is, they got J bolts in there, so you can't really tamper with them, and they're gonna meet state spec, so there's J bolts inside it that will break away.
So is that on the?
That's in there,
Yep.
I had her
Okay.
include those.
Yeah,
Yep.
the
So
fasteners.
you got 75 square poles here, looks like.
So we don't need fasteners.
75?
Yeah, that's what it looks like here on my paperwork.
It's included.
No, it just says, I think that, no. Cause it says right here in the quantity 50.
Okay. Okay, it must be the code
I
number.
think it's our code number.
Yeah, 50.
Okay, because we're going a little over budget, the motion is probably a good idea, so you made a motion to
Yeah.
go ahead and order the way that you had it quoted.
We'll second the motion.
And
We need it.
all in favor, say aye.
Right?
All right,
Okay.
that way there, we have ordered a science class right here, don't we?
This is impressed right now. Which one of you guys are ordering a post pounder?
Oh,
We have one.
We have one right there at the end of the table. So when you put those in, do you use a post pounder or do you use I didn't mean a mechanical one.
I'm gonna borrow them.
Yeah,
Who's got one?
yeah.
Town of Jay's got one, Town of Newport Center's got one.
We can get one.
I've used them.
So what is that, battery or gas motor or what is it?
Little gas motor.
Yeah.
They can use potential.
Down around.
If you hit, does that have some way to protect that so the sun?
Yep, it's got sleeves in it, so that the base doesn't get all screwed up.
Yeah. And the bolts that go on there, you said special bolts?
Yeah.
But they can just unscrew them, but is it not have a special?
Sure, I used to bend them over, put tar on them,
Yeah.
they want to bolt them on.
So do we have brackets coming with that too?
No,
Any, so
no hardware, no brackets to hang anything on,
we have
So
no.
what about bolts for signs?
screw them right through the top.
You need to buy bolts for
If
that.
you start buying the fasteners that are on top of the signs, you're just probably looking at another $20 a post.
No, I'm talking about, we get enough for the bottom part, that we.
Yeah, all those fasteners are included, yeah.
That comes with it.
Just tell them, put them on the pallet, we'll go down with a flatbed trailer, pick them up. Be easy way.
Okay.
Could be more than one pallet.
I don't know, they don't take a lot of room. Oh, that's not gonna be that much.
50 posts probably.
Janet and I make a road trip.
Okay, there you go. Okay, Eric, did you by any chance have time to look at the yard at the library to give them a bid?
Oh, I forgot about that. I will do that tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Friday. Yeah, I'll look at it this week. No, I forgot all about that. Sorry. Sure.
Then you had talked a little bit about maybe putting some cement blocks behind the sand pile.
Yeah,
Still thinking that's a good idea?
that's up to you guys.
Yeah. Well, it would keep the pile where it belongs a little more, except the wind would still blow over it.
It would, but I think it would contain it a little bit.
Yeah, So what were you thinking, how high would you be stacking those?
You probably wanna do. Let's say 3,
And that's what, 6 feet? Are they 2 foot posts or, blocks, or what are they,
18 inches.
18, so it'd be about 4 feet?
Yeah.
4.5 feet.
Three, you gonna put one in the ground or not?
No,
Just right off
just
the ground?
flatten the area so they're all uniform.
Yeah.
Probably go. 6 feet long. So maybe do like. In the area where it is, maybe do like 10 blocks on the bottom course, then kind of stagger them in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, well, you ended up with maybe 25 blocks, so
or so, yeah,
what are they going for?
$60 a bottle,
So,
without going to get them, we put about, 10 on the trailer.
No, they're pretty heavy.
Yeah,
I know.
3,800 pounds.
Oh. I got about maybe 35, 40 in my house.
I don't know.
Quite a bit there.
So that's something you're gonna have to do before sand.
Yeah, I got a lot of time before that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
That's Christmas time.
Okay,
some of that sand that's down there, does anybody want me to truck that anywhere? Some of it's junk, it's sod, junk.
got some side in it.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty stuff. I'm not gonna truck all of it out, but some of it.
That's on the edge at the bottom.
Yeah.
What's on the edge on the bottom, the pile that's on the lower side. We get rid of all that. I pulled the signposts today I had to take the loader down and down drive, so. To grab my screen.
Yeah.
I actually meant to do that and I forgot about it.
Yeah,
And go
I don't want to
back.
do it the other day, I went by, that's too late.
But they're gone. I built the hole back in. That was all.
Good, thank you.
Let's put some sand. Okay, anything else on highways that we need to talk about?
No,
Any update on the
Yeah,
culvert?
so, right.
yeah, the bids came out.
Oh, yeah, I talked to
The bid came out?
Ted today.
Yeah,
He said the bids came out about 7 days ago
Yep.
and they let 10 days pass. And they usually award the winning bid, but they'll let you know who bid. They're assuming
We, you didn't
that
get
we
that
wanted
bill?
her to have it.
oh yeah,
Was it-
they're gonna, the bids close, June first.
Oh,
Okay, so no, right, still some talking about.
Yeah, it's not awarded yet.
They'll close them June first and then you'll know.
when do you think that project's gonna start?
It's gonna be talking with the company. That builds the top half of it, all the. It's basically a collar, half a collar on top there. 6 to 7 weeks out, so that's why Tyler kind of rushed the bidding process through. They normally give like a month and a half to bid,
Yeah,
but he shortened it up
good.
for that reason, so.
Well,
But it
that's,
is,
yeah, that's reasonable though, I mean, that's a working, it could happen.
oh yeah, it definitely could happen this year. Yeah, as long as everything, luckily enough, he designed it as a poured in place footer. Instead of a precast, the precast was forget it this year, so. It's a poured in place footer.
So, is the footer, you mean just for the ends or the whole length?
No, the whole way,
Whole length?
both sides.
So it's gonna be quite a lot of concrete work, isn't it?
Yeah, 4 foot.
Yeah.
I think the footing's 38 by 12 on the bottom and then a 4 foot wall, or a 4 foot wall.
The whole length?
The whole way, 2 times.
Wow,
With a detail on the top of it, yeah.
yeah.
No, I think the whole project is probably. I think your high bidders are gonna be higher than what they've done.
But still, we gotta go through the process, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so more to come, I guess, we'll know more maybe at
You'll know next month.
our next meeting, or maybe as soon as we know something, we can. Let's see, by the bid, they're going to him?
Yeah, then nothing's coming to the town, they're deciding. Well, you guys will finalize. the
We'll
bid.
decide.
You will finalize the bid, he's getting the bids, I apologize, yeah,
Yeah,
he's getting the bids, you guys will finalize,
And you're up to send your bid to him too?
okay,
because technically you guys can throw out anybody there.
Right.
And all the permits are in hand.
They are, all the permits are in now. Nice.
Good.
Alright. That'll keep you busy for a little bit.
Day or two.
It's long days.
Yeah, good ones.
Okay, anything else? Anybody have any questions? Very good, thank you.
We'll start making dust tomorrow.
Uh,
We'll start making dust tomorrow. I'm gonna start grading the roads. I wanted to grade last week, but. Was not the week to grade.
Yeah, well, it's
we'll get a lot of rain tomorrow, I think.
No.
not tomorrow, tomorrow's good. Today,
Tomorrow, Wednesday, decent, Thursday, Friday.
yeah,
Friday, we're gonna get a
Great.
lot, too, great.
we lucked out on this storm though, didn't we?
Yeah.
Get down from Morrisville down to the way, I
Yeah.
guess, Katie's, what do they call it? Katie's Road or Katie's
Katie's Falls.
Falls Road was closed.
Yeah.
For a while, I saw that on my phone.
Yeah, there's,
And then Waitsfield, Warren.
yeah, Westfield, Warren, yeah,
Walked
yeah.
out.
Yeah, well, we lucked out. I went out.
We did.
When they went out Saturday. Saturday morning had a tree across the road on Buck Hill, but yeah, I went out Sunday. Oh, it was Saturday afternoon. I went for a ride. Everything held up awesome.
Yeah.
But the roads were also very concrete. They held up good.
Okay, very good.
Perfect.
Okay, right.
Well,
All right, thank
have a
you.
good night.
Thank you.
Thank you for picking up the brush up there.
Oh, yeah. I'm not done. You're welcome.
You picked up my yard, so that's good.
Okay, only, I wonder what that's about.
Bad subject.
We got anything there, anything from?
No, could we talk about that in executive session?
I texted him earlier, yeah, I think we need to go in executive sessions on that.
Okay, we'll save that for there then. Number 15, approve and sign below computing contract for June 25 to May 26. You didn't see that, did
I didn't see any of that.
you?
I saw it,
Yeah, me too.
you guys all happy with
Have
that?
it here.
All right, we're good with that, yeah. Thank right, I think, last year,
Yeah.
right? I'll make a motion that we approve it.
And I'll let you guys vote on that, because my son-in-law, so.
You made a motion and I'll second the motion. Basically the same as last year coverage. Is that what he's doing? Service?
Yeah.
So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Show me it's not voting, please. Discuss upgrading phone system at town office. Community center number.
So we'll let, you wanna sign?
This.
So you have in front of you
We here?
a copy, a new copy that says revised for the phone system.
Okay.
So Nikki and I had a phone conversation with them. And this all came about because, we, in talking to Dennis about, all of our needs and stuff, he mentioned that Jay had switched over to internet phones, and that it was going to be quite a savings for them. So we were, able, after sugaring, to get things going to get a quote, and it looks like it will be a good savings for us over the long run. We'll have an initial upfront fee to design the system and the support to transition over, which on the quote is the one-time fee of $540. So that's to, for them to configure everything and transfer phone numbers and buy phone numbers and all of that. So Nikki and I originally, the first bid, we had this WebEx voice, which is the first item on the quote up here. We have that on every phone, but after, talking to them in more detail and looking at the pricing and everything, we really feel like we only need that on 3 of the phones. That gives you like a lot of enhanced things like, help me out here, Nikki. The WebEx.
I think it gives like, voicemail and calls and things you can do on this app. So like, if you're out of the office and you check the voicemail or whatnot, you can do it through there.
you can transfer it to your cell phone if you're away,
Okay.
or things, more technical kind of things. We don't need that on the Lister phone and, other phones we need it on. I think the town clerk's phone, the treasurer, and we feel the library should have that too. So what this would be doing is it would be bringing all the phones for the whole town in-house under one phone system. So we would have, it would be like when you call in, you get a general message, and if you want the library, you push this number. If you want the treasurer, you push this number. If you want the town clerk's office, you push this number, that kind of a situation. And then people can also will have a direct line, so somebody could call you on your direct line if they want to avoid the whole system. So,
Yes, that sound system gets boring after a while.
right.
Just make it too long, go quick.
Yeah. So, when we compared this to like the phone system we currently have, we sent those breakdowns. So currently we're paying $310.74, and this was only in the email. There's not a copy here. We're currently spending $310 for all the phone lines. And this new system, we would be spending $176 a month for all the phones. And that includes the emergency fire and security number. We have 2 of those, 2 separate lines for that. We would be changing the fax over so that we're trying to eliminate all the what's the word we use? Hard lines or
Yeah, like basically, yeah.
the landlines. So,
But you're gonna need to have a couple still though, probably.
well, there's ways around that, so we have to talk to D&D about that. But because those phone lines are, like, I think the minimum we're gonna be able to get it down to is like $44 or $45 a month for that phone line. But there is a way to do those cellular too. So we have to talk to Jason next door about that more. On the part that's the equipment, which is the $86.94 a month, the third one down. What you're doing is you're paying a monthly fee for the equipment. And after 3 years, that is paid off. So in 3 years, and this is a contract for 3 years, so the pricing wouldn't change. So in 3 years, we would deduct that $86 from the $176. So it'd be quite a savings after the 3-year period.
3 years, the fees won't go up.
No, well, it's a 3-year contract, so I don't know what they're gonna go up to, but
But if that equipment piece will go away.
it will go away.
It will own the.
Hopefully it's still good.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. There are gonna be different kinds of phones than we have now. They won't be cordless kind of phones. We'd either have to transfer it to our cell phone if we wanted to go kind of hands-free or do a headpiece kind of thing. So there's options for that. I use the hands, I'm traveling with the phone in the vault quite a bit. But it'll just be a different way of getting used to doing it, so. That's why we were really interested in making the change, not like I want to learn any new technology.
So these iPhones? The 8851, those iPhones or?
No,
The 1449,
The desk phones.
this
Oh,
phone,
that's one, okay.
yeah.
I'll show you what they look like. I think we sent that with the,
So you'll save enough the first of the year to pay that.
Even right now with the amount that you have, like, it's gonna, because the first time it's gonna be at $500. But after that will be $176.67, but we still have Comcast that we have to pay for one line for the security alarm system. Until we do all our changes, it will be lower than what we're paying right now
Yeah.
with all the phones.
Can we put the security system on these phones too?
Yes, I did, well, I mean, I did call Jason today, but he said that we could do it cellular phone, but a cellular way, but then Dennis was saying we could do it Wi-Fi. So anyway, he's coming over tomorrow and he's gonna talk about it more, but the thing is, we gotta think about probably upgrading our alarm system too with fire, so it's combined to one all together in one line.
Because right now we're paying for two phone lines for
Two
that,
phone lines.
Really?
yeah.
And
So
it's two
that's what
different
we-
companies that we're paying for, and I want him to
Yeah.
do like, just do D&D and have it. But the thing is like this, the alarm that we have right now, if it breaks down, we can't replace it, we would have to have a new one anyway.
So that's gonna be.
So
the
that would be in the
one
next year's
after.
budget, I would want to have that sort of next year, so we could think about it, upgrading it and put it more,
Well, 20 years old already.
And we would wait for this normally till budget time, but because it's
It's
a
gonna,
big savings,
yeah,
there's no reason to
No.
not take the savings
you're
now.
gonna save more than this cost is gonna.
Right. And these are the kind of phones, so you can do conference calls on the phones. And like now, none of our computers have, cameras on them, so we have to use the laptop if we're doing something that requires that, which more and more, like vendors and stuff are doing conference calls, with us. So it'll be, there'll be a learning curve a little bit to get used to it, because what we have now is pretty simple, and like Lynette says, she goes, I don't even, she said, I don't even use like a little smidge of what it's capable of doing, but she said she really likes the system, and I think he has it in Newport. And,
Lynn has it.
oh yeah, VNA has it,
And VNA.
Oh.
Lynn.
Lynn Lamont.
and Lowell is transferring over to it too, so. That's why we're asking for it now.
So,
Who do this? Dennis do?
Dennis Beloin would do it. Yep, he would install it for us. There's another guy that can do it, but they're in, Winooski or someplace. They're a little out of the area, and so Dennis has been selling some of these and installing them himself, so that would be the arrangement.
Is your printer hitched up to phone?
The printer is, the fax machine is hitched up to
Hitched
the
up?
phone. But we would go away from that system and go to so we can get rid of that phone line and go to, an email fax system. So we basically do exactly the same.
Yeah.
We'd scan it, like we're scanning it now,
Mhm.
and we just would email it rather than
Faxing.
fax it.
that's what we do. Stuff we don't do.
We don't do that much faxing. It's mostly for people like at the campground or.
You pay for a link on that
Residents.
also.
Mhm.
I think it's okay. It's gonna save money. That's a good thing. If you have better technology. Saving money is good. Make a motion that we get this new phone system. Cloud DVX.
It'll fuck it.
I don't believe say aye.
Right.
Aye.
Yeah.
So I'll have you sign this page and we can get started. It'll take about, what she said, 6 or 7 weeks to get it going. Just needs. This Jake.
Down June, July, and then, yeah, that's almost like right in time for taxes.
They don't pay the taxes on board.
I don't know.
Instead of writing it on, but.
You want a different one?
We'll try to reach it, the wait, will be too long to go.
Instead of signing on it, you just white it out to you.
Thank you.
Here's the. Okay, let's- 17, discuss scanning plat maps involved.
We're just all busy spending money.
That's that.
I said, we're just so busy spending money this month, aren't we? Holy moly. So as you know, the digitizing is back 40
plus years.
40 plus years now.
So what is
Will that come back?
Plat maps are the survey maps, like if you are, subdividing a property or having your property surveyed, we get a, what's called a Mylar. And they used to be paper ones, now it's the law that they have to be Mylar and within a certain size range. So we've gotten all the maps, Nikki's gotten all the maps organized now, and so the next step would be to get them digitized. And this company that we sent you the stuff, Franco Rosie, which came with the packet. He's the one that does our tax maps. So he has, his company's in Littleton, so the one reason I haven't really wanted to do it is that I don't want the maps leaving the office for very long. So he could do it where if I went down like on a Friday and he knew he could do it, in a couple of hours, get them scanned and I could bring them back with me. Or worst case scenario is he'd have them till like a Tuesday, so we wouldn't really be missing them for any period of time. So the cost would be $7.50 a page to scan, and we have like 150-ish. Remember the number?
I think it's now 160.
160.
So these are these maps to go with what's already been digitized, or is it?
They are, yeah.
Okay, so
These, we would only be digitizing the maps that go with the deeds or subdivisions
so
or,
that wasn't something we could do here?
no, they're too large. Our scanner only goes 11 by 17.
Yep.
So, and then they could make,
They're not that big.
they're not that big. The new size, they're more like 17 by 24 or something like that. We could make the cost really comes in if they make the index for you. So I'm volunteering Nikki. Because it's not, it's not like we have thousands of maps. Like she's been through the worst of it already with the scanning. So I could take this money out of the restoration fund that, we're accumulating as we go month by month, and it's $4 of all of the $15 that comes in for recordings goes into that restoration fund. So I would not be asking to take anything out of the budget. It's already there in the savings account.
So
So-
it's gonna be $1,000 for what would be 160 times 750?
Yep.
That would be-
$100 $900. Be about
don't see a problem with it.
It sounds like a good step.
Yep.
That's,
So
It's
right now,
hard to do those maps because they can't go on the copier. So basically I bring them in here and I like find the tallest thing I can stand on. I take a picture of them on my camera and then I have to text them to people.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
so it's, every time there's a property that's purchased, right? They get one.
no,
Well,
it's not
then
even
there's a
that often.
subdivision.
A subdivision or initially like when John Paul Bonneau had that property up there on Buck Hill, there was subdivision plat map for that. There's maps like in Alpine Haven, or if there's a boundary line adjustment, anything like that, generates, by law, they have to have, if it's mentioned in the deed, now it has to be recorded in the land records.
So John Bonet would finish mine, but he recorded the record.
Exactly.
Mine, I got a Mylar map sitting in his office.
Exactly.
How do you retire?
No, I bumped it 2 weeks ago. I'll get there.
Now he's, yeah, okay.
That's about $1,500-$1,600, something like that. It's gonna cost, you said,
750.
150 is $1,575, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
and you have the funds already.
Need a motion for that or not?
Yes.
I'll make a motion.
Again, I second the motion.
Thank you. I'm
Questions?
trying to complete some of these projects.
So what's the
so-
abbreviation, PLAT?
Before I,
The,
my accent.
what's the, what is that abbreviation? PLAT.
Flat.
No, is that an abbreviation or is that a name?
That's
It's a name.
Yeah,
Okay, you spoke
Sort
about
of.
capital letters, so I thought it was
Oh,
like the
no.
rest of the
that was just.
terminology you guys throw at me.
Yes, right, another acronym.
Okay.
No.
And weeds on playground. Sounds like a walk over weed whacker.
Right,
I think it's just gonna be raked a little bit. All it is just the,
On top.
But
it's the little maple trees.
it's those little
But
ones.
weed whacker kills them, and it doesn't, I mean, doesn't kill them, it mows them, I did it last year a few times. I
It
saw
looks
today,
worse
I
over
mowed
there.
I mowed the benches today and I saw that,
Probably not so bad, because we put that new mulch back here, it must have helped out a little bit.
but it's still in that.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like I thought it was all that dark area, because that's how it looked before, but all the leaves got blown into the playground and to the back of the yard last year instead of being cleaned up.
Ooh,
And so the
Yeah.
weeds, I think the
Wonder what it
weeds,
do this again.
the leaves, I think, cut down on the,
It
weeds
smothered it
growing.
a little bit,
yeah.
yeah, okay, well.
So there are
let's do
little
that
ones
every year.
coming up through the,
Those are little maple trees.
there are
growing
little
everywhere.
ones coming
If
up
somebody,
through the
yeah,
leaves.
somebody wants to plant apple trees, help yourself, they're easy.
I pulled one of them yesterday, with that, but down there,
Yeah,
I see that.
they're all the same.
Yeah, okay, so what are we gonna do, just I can come weed whacker,
Okay,
yeah.
And I'll
or
trim
didn't you
it.
spray them one year with that?
I did
vinegar?
with the vinegar and
Yeah.
stuff, I mean, that probably, that helped some,
Whatever's easiest.
so weed whacking probably take less time.
Needs fixing on the playground.
Yeah, so I saw one thing got fixed recently.
Yes, thank you, Dennis, for
Thank you,
fixing
Dennis.
this.
Not
leak.
one, that's a problem, no problem.
There's another thing to be.
It should have been on here, having Richard yesterday.
Oh,
but
right.
I had a little spot.
Balancing thing.
Remember the thing that got broken last year when those kids were?
Yeah.
Oh, that chain and the,
That
Yeah.
chain, yeah, we gotta get a drill, we
That
gotta
didn't
drill.
get fixed yet.
you need a healthy trail.
We gotta put an interbolt in.
Concrete
Kind of in
trail.
the way
I've got,
there.
I've got a,
On the hammer drill.
Yeah, I think that's what we need, but
And, we
then
need
you
to
need,
break
then you need an anchor.
yeah,
well, I've got some good drills too,
and I got some anchors at home, I gotta find them. They were like, with no you off they used to use,
yeah.
I got some of those at home.
Better grab some, it'll take.
Oh.
And they need two holes.
And it's in the way a little bit, so it's like the quicker if you fix it.
We put some hooks in
I
there.
know, need my keys in here, but.
Okay, so that's that one.
Alright,
Schedule work for flower beds, it looks like it's a good start on it.
yeah,
Thank you, Richard, again.
we got a good start on that
So,
yesterday.
Is our plan still the plan?
So what do you wanna do in there, you wanna plant, you wanna put some mulch, you wanna put stones, or, I know we gotta put some fabric.
I know somebody wants flowers, right?
Yeah, so the other
Danny wanted
day,
flowers.
there was a commercial on TV about this green stuff that you put
Yeah.
as a plastic, that nothing will go through it.
But-
And it looks kind of nice. If we put some of that, pick that up at Agway or somewhere. And plant some flowers in different places, and there's not gonna be any weeds.
We can get some of that road fabric from Eric, it's real thick. Be the same thing,
The grass will end up burning.
that road fabric,
No,
Well, they're growing on top of it though.
no,
that's why we don't put mulch,
Okay.
if you put mulch, it will go with
Yeah,
that.
well, let's use that then, okay.
I don't know if you wanna use stones or mulch, I don't care.
The,
well, if you're doing that, it doesn't make sense to put tarp on top,
No,
tarp on
no,
top of
no.
it, if you're doing.
if you put stones and you don't put something under it.
Well, you gotta put,
There's
You gotta
gonna be
put
some
something under
it.
things that are gonna fall in there eventually.
if you put stones, you gotta put the fabric, you know.
Yeah,
And
Because
if you
they-
put back, mulch, then we can,
because if eventually, like in 5, 6 or 8 years, so.
even mulch,
Grass growing, then you get a bigger
even you
strong
put
down.
mulch on it, you can put the black fabric,
I don't care what you put in there,
Me
after
neither.
5 or 6
There's
years,
gonna be
you're gonna get
grass.
stuff going through it.
oh yeah, you will, whatever, I mean, it doesn't matter what you want to put.
Mine's been, what, 2 years, but third summer now, or your grass going through, I got river rocks and fabric, and it's already coming through.
You got rocks too?
So, yeah, I got bigger ones.
Mine's been 5 and no grass.
Okay, you must
You
spray
must-
something.
No, well, you
Your
have to
husband-
put vinegar on it, though, but it's been 5 and it's no grass, and you put that thick thing, I mean, and then that's what they're all doing in store right now, they're putting that thing,
Michelle's using that road fabric.
yeah,
Michelle
got
got
road
to use that
fabric
too.
and the grass is less and.
A lot of her
They
customers.
got a lot of money to sell.
Going with stones, a lot of her customers go with stones too,
I think
yeah.
it's cheap, right, so, I mean.
Whatever.
We could put some of that on a week too.
Oh, yeah,
So,
I got some stuff too.
I mean.
Can't put that in there.
Yeah, we have to be careful what we put there.
Yeah.
I don't wanna hear that.
More vinegar,
Vinegar is
The best.
safer. So what's the,
I don't care what you wanna put,
so that, if we wanna use the road fabric, Eric, get some of that.
Eric got some, probably get some from Eric, or, they don't take that much.
Vinegar.
That green stuff is not very thick either.
Well, it's a plastic.
Yeah.
So nothing will grow,
Oh, plastic,
yeah. It's a plastic. So you don't put anything over it, you put it
You
in.
could do black plastic anyway, you get it through with a hardware. store.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that.
Right, and then you just make a hole and put your
but
flowers.
you burn it out, even with road traffic, you burn it up with a torch,
That's what everyone heard.
Yeah.
It's all fabric.
road fabric.
So,
Pull it up, as a 3 year old, just pull it up.
Yeah.
I get rid of it, I got new stuff this year.
so action, what's an action item here? Who wants to do that?
Well, I guess it's gonna have to be an effort of a couple of us,
Right.
like Richard's not alone by himself.
I was started yesterday, Jen and I started yesterday. I saw that on the agenda, ooh, we'll clean that up,
Yeah,
and Dennis brought it up to me the other day after recycling. I said, yeah, so it's been raining every weekend, it's been raining, so I said, I'll try to squeeze it in this weekend.
so if we
We
put
can-
some fabric and what do we wanna?
We gotta get the lower stars.
Flowers.
Yeah.
Stones are $16, I
$16.
got them from my house the other day, it's $16 a yard for an inch and a half. I can get some stones here, my tenant, I can bring them along, don't take much. You put just a little layer.
Down the fabric.
You gotta have about, if you're gonna put a stone, you gotta dig, this one here on this side is ready for a stone that is deep enough. But the other two, I need to take out at least another 4 or 5 buckets of stuff out of there.
Okay.
I mean, that mulch is, it's thick and that stuff, you just take the shovel and scoop it. you know.
It's not rooting, there's not doing.
Oh, you get a lot of roots, you get a lot of roots from that tree. Yeah,
Oh, that nursery.
and I had a lot of roots from the other place.
Why do you think you're right?
Really? You wanna go there again?
That's
I
fine.
got a lot of, I got a lot of the little trees from that big tree in the back. I mean, it doesn't matter where you wanna put it, mulch was good, I've never seen stones, I mean, I didn't pay attention to your house, but
I don't like my stones. I like my stones, but
You like stones?
I like them, but I don't like them.
So what do we wanna put though?
I'm digging my nails.
You're taking yours out, you wanna sell them?
Well, the best thing to do is put it all, put wherever you want, if you're gonna put stones, you put the plant after, right, or give it more.
But what I was thinking for this year to be, since we're already spending a lot on that, that maybe we should just get one big pot, I mean, like those, what do you call that,
Whiskey barrels?
whiskey barrels, and then you just plant flowers in there for now.
Okay,
Just probably one, I think if they see one and it's just the first step for this year, and then next year we could do more like. Flowers that it's more, that they grow every year that you don't need to.
Perennials.
You don't want to overload it with flowers.
You don't wanna
No,
overload
you
it,
don't.
because it's like, then you still have to cut it, and it's
A
like.
lot of work,
Is there a hose out there we can hitch up to water the
no.
containers?
Well, then probably that I could just put a,
Well, you got a water hose here.
when I do my cleaning, but yeah, that's probably,
Plant some rhubarb and they can cook.
oh,
on the
yeah,
outside.
yeah, we could do that, we could even put some, grow some. Herbs and stuff like that.
Put an herb garden in.
it takes.
I haven't cleaned between the building yet, and between the building and the ramp, that one there ain't too bad, but that's got. I mean, we never put anything in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll issue, be just plastic and stone.
Yeah,
That's it.
And,
Plenty of flowers back there.
no flower.
Or even you put a tree, I mean, I've got some trees that people throw away from when they do job, I mean, like, that they flower in the spring.
Yeah,
yeah, but there's not really a place for them there.
no, it ain't,
There's not enough room. You know.
there ain't a lot of room in front of that parking lot,
They'll get in front of the window before you know it.
Just like those 2 trees up front.
yeah.
Just-
Can't see the building.
I'm saying like shrubs, those, you got shrubs that they don't grow, so
Yeah,
the miniature shrubs,
Something like
like that, I mean, a lot of them, they're just, when they're doing their gardening, they just throw it away and then
Like a
maybe,
little- Yeah,
I'm just saying, something that's color, that has color in it, that, you know, that.
I like the idea of the whiskey barrel and have a few flowers in it, or
Yeah.
something that flowers.
Cause there's that one shrub there, right? It's sort of in the middle of the lawn.
Yeah.
So what if you put like a whiskey barrel on each end?
Yeah, you could do that.
Oh, the spireas, they got yellow flowers, right?
With that,
Spirea, the plants are there
Yeah.
now.
yeah.
They get
But
little-
also, see, we could just do like right now, it's $25 for the flower, you know, the hanging flowers at Costco.
Yeah.
You could have just put that in there for, instead of buying little
They need to be watered
flowers.
every day,
Yeah.
twice a day, it's sunny. But
Well,
it's-
there's a
Yeah,
lot
it
of
hit that
shade
hard
there.
though. But
There's
it's-
a lot of
it's mostly
shade.
So it wouldn't dry. too
Couple
much.
shepherds
So
Well,
what
so
the
then-
best thing to do is just
hang
get
them,
it,
or
get the fabric down, put wherever you want to put down, and then put a plant in after with a pot.
Yeah,
couple
that's
flowers.
what- I'm just for this
Couple
year,
whiskey barrels
too.
Fill it up and
Next year
get
we
soil.
can do more something else.
or you get whiskey barrels then, I
Yeah, we got.
Yeah.
Bigger jumbles, no? No,
Satin
cheap.
bucket, token satin bucket.
They're not cheap.
I guess.
Oh, somebody's throwing junk in that tree. I haven't picked it up yet. In that little shrub, remember we looked at it the other day?
Yep.
They're throwing cans in there,
Hey,
they're throwing
geez.
plastic bottles in there.
I know, there was a lot of garbage in there. I was scared to go. in
I
there.
didn't pull it out yesterday. I didn't want it. I took all that crap from my place. I didn't want it mixed in with it. You know.
I was afraid
If there's anything of volume, there's a sinkhole right here.
The hole right next to the
That wasn't
road.
there last fall when I put the benches and it's there now.
So the next time that we dig out a little deeper, you'll be able to use some of that. That took a lot of bark.
Yeah,
out of it.
Eric was supposed to, forgot about it. He was supposed to put dirt in that one.
Fill that hole up.
I can grab a bucket of dirt from the town garage, sand, put some sand in there and take care of the whole.
Yeah, the grass would go through it. I should have dropped some today.
So you're gonna
Alright.
think of doing that then, the hole there?
No, well,
I can bring a bucket of stuff from that.
but yeah, well, I mean, I'll keep pecking at it. Figure out something. You guys want stone or bark, just let me know.
No,
Yeah, I don't
think
care.
it should-
Doesn't matter,
Somebody pick it.
stone will be new. It'll be different.
And you put the 1.5 inches, the
You know,
small, the two small, and they'll get kicked around, the 1.5 inches, you can't kick them around.
And you don't need how much. For the whole lot.
Well, Nate said if you drop it 3 inches, he said then you need at least 2.5 to 3 inches
Yeah.
to cover that.
Sure.
You don't need to put a lot. I can get a little stone, my tenant can bring me a little stone, I bought one the other day, brought me enough in my place for like $100.
So what's
He
that,
picked it up,
one time truck or something?
you get a ton truck.
Yeah.
What he works for, and get that tailgate in the back, works out good nice. Put a wheelbarrow over there, we move those stones in. We probably $150, $200 a stone at the most.
When you get to that, give me a call with you.
Okay, so-
I got that, I mean, you're all by yourself. Like, nice.
When I
Nate
get.
said he had some road fabric too. Yeah, that piece of it,
Yeah, you will get it for you for free.
Nate got some pieces of road fabric.
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah, there's some pieces, perfect.
Yeah.
He would help you out, but he's away at basketball gone for 3 weeks.
Alright, we'll keep pecking at it. I may not get done all at once, but we'll pick at it. Gotta get
Okay,
that.
latch for tennis sport.
We fixed that twice last year too,
I
didn't we?
fixed that once before.
Twice. Last year.
Yeah, but it's broke this time. Last time it was just turned, now it's broken. If I remember right, 'cause I went and looked at it one day.
You gotta get a new one.
Yeah, it's gone completely.
So I had bought a part at, basically what I did is I took the part from the back one and I put it here and I bought one for the back one. Pick and shovel, it's a little bit different, but it works.
So it's a latch and broke.
Yeah, that thing.
So that was this? I think you think.
So that roundup fence there, roundup fence and Colleen,
Round bit, that's-
Round Hill fence, they got a lot of parts there too.
Yeah,
We get some parts in there.
and they hit that so hard that it spun on corner pipe too. I had to, last time I had to loosen those, turn. I don't know what they do to hit it that hard. I mean,
I don't know if they write it or what,
maybe.
stand on it,
That could be
see
what
it's just
happened.
completely
Yeah, it's broken.
missing.
Yeah.
It's just that with the wind, it's always open. and
Maybe the wind swinging it.
Well, that wind really
Yeah,
broke it.
but now that it don't have no latch, it's always open and you can
Yeah.
see it always.
flapping.
Look back and yeah, flopping. There needs to be fixed.
I gotta go to Newport Wednesday for a meeting, and maybe I can see if I can get some parts to that. I mean, we're done.
And the other thing, I was thinking, maybe we can make something to make it fit through,
I got some, but it's steel though.
yeah.
Like 2.25 steel.
But round hill fence, they might have some little cracks.
I'm sure they will. I don't want to take a picture before you leave.
So you work a lot for you,
Are they down there? Can I drive
they're
right
still
down?
down below, down in the lead.
Go by old Fred and Pat's old
Yeah,
store, that
yeah.
first road, they go down in there?
Get down in there.
You got an off, do they have an office there?
Don't know, but you may catch somebody there. I mean, I've been down
Yeah, let me go
there.
out there and take a picture
I'm
before I leave tonight.
texting it to you right now.
Okay.
Yes, but if you want a picture of the latch, it's broken, it's gone.
Oh, you want
Well,
that
I
other
can-
latch?
Yeah, I'm with her.
Yeah, I don't have
There's
one.
you could take a picture of
The
the
pole.
one of the back door, though,
Okay, I'll do that when I
which
see
is a
her.
little bit different than what the original. It's a 3-inch pipe, I think. So it's gotta be a fairly good size.
Send it to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the other thing, I made myself a note here today when I moved those benches. The original benches that that Robert, my son, had done for his Eagle Scout project.
Yeah.
Is that where
That's
it was?
right
The same here?
Unreal.
And
Yeah, I
those
think
benches
so.
are junk now.
Yeah.
They don't look nice.
So, there's like a little thing that went over here, right?
Bottom,
Oops, whoops,
and
what happened there?
I think
Good
the
something.
last one that we got when
We talk a lot.
that lady had passed away, we got a donation, maybe you don't remember that. Remember this,
Yeah.
Yep,
and I had
cricket.
got it delivered to my place, I put it together, that's,
That's
yeah, something like, there you go.
Where'd you get that from?
Yeah.
Oh, we put it in the back room.
There's a boat.
I remember seeing it.
See, they went-
So this goes around this close?
We
Yeah.
say too much stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it goes from this close.
And it goes like this and that, and you open it and you open the door,
Yeah.
so this
This
will
glass right here?
I want to throw it away.
Not that, no,
no, it's not that,
it's not even there, is it?
so this is
You're gonna
supposed to
run
have
over it?
2 holes here.
Your tire,
Onto something, might be on the door somewhere.
I can picture that.
Okay.
just like that.
So anyways, those benches, I think would be replaced, and the last one that we put in, the money came from somebody else, we never spent any money on.
No,
it.
no, that little girl, she
Yeah. So that,
got
that
donations for that.
style, that's really.
It's last,
it's
I was just
beautiful.
looking at it the other
That
day.
last one?
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
just like new still,
Yep,
So,
so I think we ought to. I don't know, we got 4 in all, I think.
that one looks pretty bad, like I was wondering if it's safe anymore,
The one that on a common.
that you moved to the common.
Yeah.
Can we use the funds? for
That's one thing,
Yeah,
playground?
that's what I was thinking too, I was doing that.
you know, Dennis, I mean, we had leftover money from that playground, right?
But,
For a playground.
those
Yeah.
benches, I think that one had cost the last one around $600,
Yeah, I think so,
$700.
I have the file on
And
it.
not cheap, but they're pretty. The old ones too, the moss has gotten into the,
Yep.
you know, the concrete and it's getting.
What does it do with it? What does it do?
What's the bench, are you talking about the fence or the bench? here?
That little.
Oh, that's a mat.
Oh, that's a latch, latch, keep the door closed.
For door?
Really?
So anyways, I'm not saying we get a rush to do anything like that, but how much money do we have left in that boat?
Yeah, I think it's 1,500.
We could probably get 2 benches, pretty close, I mean.
Yeah, we're doing one.
Leftover from the,
Yeah,
Dennis,
get rid of those,
from the church.
you know, it doesn't look that nice. Yeah,
And they do get used, like they,
oh yeah.
the bicyclists and
Mhm.
they
See
like to
people
go
there.
to the store and then
Yeah,
they go sit
same
on the
way.
common under the trees, the
Mhm.
trees that are shady.
Oh, those trees.
Oh,
okay.
those trees.
We don't wanna cut those trees.
Well, Ben Farney saw him the other day, I told him, we may need to trim that one with the wire,
Well, that we should do anyway. That's
He's gonna check it out sometime.
Yeah.
I said, but don't cut anything
Don't you-
till we're
don't
here.
you
So
cut
don't
anything.
we-
Put arms on.
Branches that are in wires.
Yeah.
Don't cut anything till
See a
that.
lady coming over there with
Cut
a,
anything
with a-
until it's done as a tire.
with a switch and run.
Oh,
So anyways, I don't know,
I think it's a great idea.
yeah,
Yeah, we have 1,500 in the playground.
Okay, so if we would, I know we're not gonna buy 2 benches for that, but we could probably still buy 2 benches or we, I want. Do you wanna
I'll get a copy.
research it?
Yep.
Try to get something
Yep.
like,
I have catalogs that sell those.
trying to think, that newest one, I think is about 8 feet long. Cause it's wider than my tractor bucket, so. Bucket's 7 feet, pretty sure it's an 8 feet. And, you know, that comes in a little bit of, but it takes just a few minutes to put it together. So, somebody wanna make a motion that we buy a couple benches?
Okay, motion, we buy a couple of benches with the playground funds. For the common,
Well, it's what we do is what we do, I've been doing for quite a few years, during the summer, there's 2 on a common.
huh?
Around, before the snow comes, I move them over here.
Over the playground,
Because one year, one of them got totally demolished.
but you move them back.
Yeah.
in springtime.
So this morning I moved 2 of them back to the common.
So then the new ones might come here, you trying to tell me?
Well, we could, no,
Doesn't matter.
there's one on the common that I would get rid of.
Okay.
And there's one here that's really bad too, so,
I'll second that.
okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Have it. Anything else to common areas?
No.
So you're gonna,
I'll take a watch, yeah,
so,
I'll call them on. Round Hill, right, you said Round Hill fence?
Red Hill fence.
round here. Yeah.
That's Brian Kirsch's brother-in-law. His brother-in-law.
Okay, recycling updates. Schedule for June. Now, I'm not sure what shape my shoulder is gonna be for recycling, I could take cash, but I'm gonna be. Having surgery on the 28th of May, so for the next month or so, my shoulder's not gonna be too.
No big deal.
Or maybe longer than that.
I'm good with that.
And I'm still happy to help, I won't volunteer for the first Saturday though, because I'm not gonna
I can
be.
do the first, Dennis, you're taking 2 in a row, aren't you?
I am this week, this month.
I'll do the 7th.
I, it doesn't matter to me, the 7th is the second week,
I'll do the 3rd, and you do that.
hold on a minute.
Wait a minute. No, June,
6, 7,
I'm
and
wrong.
June 7th.
so we have 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th.
14th is Morris, who's Roger,
Okay, so,
we got a 21st and 28th. And those guys don't mind taking extra week either, Roger and Morris.
Let's ask them to do it this time.
Uh,
Yeah,
Let's ask them
maybe
to take another
maybe
time
I'll
this
just-
time.
stay out of it for this month.
Yeah.
For June.
So I'm gonna- we got me down for it?
Mess that up.
Can you do the 21st?
Sure.
And we can ask Maurice if he can do the 28th.
that Morris will do the 28th and plan, him and Roger, let me ask, yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
I'll send you a text,
and I got the next 2 weeks.
you get the next 2 weeks, I'll take care of
Don't
it.
forget your box tonight.
Yeah, don't forget that.
Jan helped me Sunday, Saturday, she was doing stuff around, that's good.
Okay, on recycling, we just. Talked about it a little bit before.
I don't think I've really applied for this.
Entertaining.
The matter.
Entertaining. You know, until we hear something from them, I would just.
No, they threw that there because they don't want, we take our own garbage.
And like basically, the same thing with the, remember the refrigerator we had trouble with?
Yeah.
You can't stop throwing them in there, and
Yeah,
blah, 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 so I said, oh, wait, I freaked out.
yeah.
So you said, well, we don't have them pick it up.
So then at the 21st, I may help you, because that's also the, hazmat.
Hazmat day?
Okay, so I might something around, even if I can't lift a lot of it.
But you can tell, put the people in the right direction.
Yeah, that's right.
And they'll be there, right, from the waste
Yeah,
management district? too?
Yeah,
They
Trust
usually
there
come.
should be a couple people, depends if they. what they-
Yeah, there's usually 2 guys who come together, and Paul Massey came last time.
When is he retiring? I thought he was already supposed to have.
The end of this year, but
Oh,
he said it's not a hard date.
oh, okay.
So he's, you know, they put out, for a new person to do
Yeah,
that.
it's
So
not
they're
bad.
getting some, I think they've gotten a couple of applications.
So yeah, as far as the mattress, I mean, it's no different, I mean, we ship our garbage to somebody else, no,
Right, yeah.
we don't bring them to the district,
Yeah,
they don't, yeah.
until they tell us,
Right,
I think we just, but we raised our prices, right?
We did,
yeah, we're all set there.
we did. How come we didn't raise the recliners?
We
That's
did.
the only we didn't, I don't believe.
I thought we did, we raised
We're at
recliners for.
16 or something, or 17, we were supposed to raise it up 5 after, weren't it? I thought we did, we did look like we did in the all sheet.
I don't remember what I said on there, but they should be.
So instead of 16, I thought it was.
Yeah, we should have raised them if we didn't.
That's the only thing I noticed we didn't raise, I think it was reclined.
Okay.
That's it.
So what do you want the recliners to be?
$5 more, everything goes up 5, right? I think, but
I'll
Take that.
double check.
Oh, I'm supposed to, speaking of that, somebody called and see how much we charge for toilets, do you guys remember?
no, that was 17, now it's 20. Two.
Yeah, well, I can look on the thing, don't worry, I'll figure it
What about the cover?
Yeah.
And a roll toilet paper.
out. Yeah.
You put that in the
So,
compost.
did anybody talk to Eric Pope about not Pope, Chambers? About the green bags and the tires?
No,
We found out, he did it.
Yeah.
no, we don't.
No,
No,
we caught him.
We'll talk about it in our executive session.
That's the wrong year.
You got the wrong air.
Yeah, sorry, because yeah, that pile, I said, oh, the pile of green bags is gone, but I didn't realize it was in that dumpster.
Yeah, we took care of that.
Okay.
Yeah, we found out about it.
All right, okay, well,
No.
that for later then. Okay, anything else about recycling updates, so loader tires ready to go, probably by next week,
You want me to call or somebody's gonna call? You guys gonna call?
We'll call.
You guys can call?
Yeah.
What you do for me, thank you.
For what?
Oh, for the tire guy.
loader tires, we've got pretty close to 200 there.
Oh, yeah.
right now.
200,
Pretty close.
I took 10
It's
today.
at least,
and you're not gonna come down and help, right?
All of them, man, you have to.
I don't mind,
No,
well, I can do it one hand.
no. No.
All right, let's see, anything else on recycling? Number 20, dog warrants.
But you,
We do. Same. People as usual. So,
Is my daughter-in-law down there?
no, he is not, thankfully. So that's. It's the same letter. I didn't send it
Okay.
in advance, but it's the same letter we always do, telling them that.
Okay, so it's gonna go out to everybody that's crossed off on this sheet.
Well, they've already gotten phone calls, delinquent letters. Piper called as a courtesy, letting them know so that we try to avoid the $25. So so this, if you sign the warrant today, it's not gonna be, the constables can't visit until after June 1st or May 31st.
Okay, hopefully they'll all come and pay, and then we'll.
You got it.
Oh. Awesome. What if they don't watch themselves, they do it.
Well, and half the time, they don't even need to get a shot. They just need to come in here and pay their money. And they don't even have to see us. All they have to do is put it in the Dropbox.
Just a bad habit.
Yeah,
Okay. We'll skip executive session for now. And we will go to other business, Mickey's laptop.
I would like to discuss this in the executive session, please.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that then. B, public service. Commission documents for O'Donnell.
so we got this in the mail the other day, and it's just basically to make you aware that the Public Service Commission is required to send these things out for utility things. And so they must be renewing their contract for,
The internet.
yeah, for the cell towers. So there's maps here, and I keep these in the vault. And you're welcome to take it home and look at it if you'd like to read it.
See, so this is for Donald's, they have a satellite
On the side.
in their silo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cell
They have
towers,
quite a few of them.
they've got
Cell tower.
at least 2 companies, maybe.
Yeah, maybe 3.
So this is the documents that go with them. If you want to see them, they're there.
So is that just informational? or do
It
we have-
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
no, you don't have to take any action.
All right, next one is cemetery bid for basement removal.
Did we get another bid from?
Yeah, you guys.
Andy?
Yeah, yeah.
You get a bit from Andy, you get a bit from,
It's all together.
We have a bit from Andy excavating and then Andy Rosen.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
wondering.
And
But it's
Eric
all
Kennison.
together. Not Eric.
Eric never gets one.
He wants to though tomorrow.
Eric, is he
No,
gonna
that's
get
the
one?
library.
That's the
That's a
library.
library yard.
Oh.
This is the
I
Westfield
thought you mentioned
Cemetery.
getting about,
Someone was supposed to, but I didn't ask her.
I think you talked about it when he was here last time. Don't remember.
I don't remember if we asked him either.
Did we,
We could,
little
Do
bit,
you wanna call him?
yeah, yeah.
Or just text him.
Oh, I'll call him.
Yeah, we should,
yeah, and I think that gravel is fine.
yeah.
It's,
Andy give us a bid only with a stay mat and it's 9,100.
with a statement.
With a
Yeah.
only stay mat, no gravel.
so the other one.
Really?
The other
11
one-
two with stay mat and then without stay mat, 96.50.
Oh. It's a no brainer there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we look at Andy, you get it
Cheaper
there, I
with
think.
stay
You get a
mat.
copy, don't you?
I don't have a copy here.
Is it in here?
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
I got it.
Yeah. Better you than me.
Yeah, Eric,
Hey,
Over here,
sorry,
duh.
I have a question
Yeah.
again. You wanna ask him?
Yeah.
I thought did we ever ask you for a bid for the cemeteries for the stay mat? To pull out the tire?
Yeah.
Would you be interested?
Okay,
So you,
Is this the whole thing, Lisa? All the way to the back?
yeah, it's 500 feet, about 500 feet of it, yeah.
So, yeah, so that's kind of the story, but what's your opinion about using pressure run instead of stay mat or even just 3-inch minus and rolling it really good?
Stick with the same mat. I use, like, I've been putting in other roads, like the hills in town and stuff like that. I
Yeah,
mix 3/4 stay mat with my screen gravel,
yeah,
and it works a lot better. It doesn't get mucky.
yeah, so,
Stay mat will get a little mucky, but yeah, I'd dig out and maybe raise it a little bit, maybe put 4 inches of it on. And take out, there might only be 1.5 inches of tire on that, I guess.
Yeah, it's all breaking up,
It's
it's
not
all
very
breaking up.
I don't think the tires
yeah, so would you put just stay mat or mix it with your? Mix it. Yeah,
I don't think so.
yeah, if stay mat by itself will get slimy, won't it?
That's it. I haven't used it straight for.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just my whole parking lot I always got. He made my parking lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's about 500 feet,
500 feet, 12 feet wide or so.
yeah, it's about 10 feet,
10 feet, 8 to 10 feet in different areas.
It's 10 feet wide at the most.
Ain't very wide.
Yeah. Does that bid go to a certain place or right?
to us,
Right to the town.
Yeah, I'll write it.
so is that something you can get to us? I don't know, we should have had this conversation
Before, yeah.
last meeting a little more. Yeah, so is that something that you can get us or a number in reasonably short order? Or, I mean, it doesn't have to be
Yeah,
tonight.
I'll get you a number by Friday.
Okay,
Is that okay?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll get you guys a number by Friday.
okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
I'll make a motion that we table. Table this, is that sound right?
Sounds good.
Until we get, another.
I second that motion.
And then we can decide that at the next meeting. Yeah. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, ayes have it. Okay, that's, is there any other business besides what we're going to executive session with?
No.
Okay, if not, then a motion to go into executive session would be in order.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night. And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Yeah, ayes have it.
Amen.
Was I supposed to say, I think we're supposed to say.
Yeah, the reason it should be for
Personnel.
personnel issue and contract issue.
Talk about, purchasing a laptop for Nikki. To replace the one that got damaged while she was working for the town.
So I'll make a motion that we. Get a new laptop, for Nikki to replace the one that she damaged here.
And I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Right,
Right?
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Now we're gonna make a motion for Ryan. Babylon to terminate his contract.
Because he failed to provide an insurance certificate.
Right.
correct. I second that motion.
Any more discussion?
And now we're.
Now we're gonna make another motion.
So let's vote this one here. All in favor, say aye.
Aye,
Right?
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, now.
Now we make another motion to hire the Spalding Property Management. 4,000, is it 4,000?
Yeah.
And to finish mowing the lawn this year.
And that probably should say the lines that include the community center, the common.
Cemetery. Cemetery too.
And the Northfield Cemetery.
I second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Alright,
Unanimous. Okay, any other business? All right.
I make a motion to adjourn.
and I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yeah, you better be opposed.
Aye.
Oh, I know.
Oh.